when he's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Haven't gone yet is
I have gone. We've had this discussion before.
I know. No, that doesn't count, dude. I mean, I get that it technically counts, but New Orleans, when you're like 5 years old, does not count.
Or 16.
Whatever. New Orleans, when you're under 21, doesn't count. Oh, by the way, holy crap. Speaking of woof, about twice a year I drink. Maybe twice a year. One of those days was last Saturday. Yeah, it's so weird, man. It's so weird how the body handles things, mine in particular. So we were up at the cabin all weekend, our family, another family, the other family we always travel with, blah, blah, blah. We're up there, right? All the kids, everyone's now it's all about getting the kids off of their devices. And my wife and the other wife and the kids, not me, they all decided to go on a hike on Friday. They walked all the way around Jenkinson Lake. When she came back, she showed me her little watch, that 9.1 miles.
Ooh.
Yeah, no thanks. No thank you. So the one thing they wanted to do was there's a winery. I'll shout them out. What do they call it? Lava Cap Winery in Placerville. And they were having they whenever we go up there, the girls always look at the Pioneer Press or whatever the hell the little local thing is that has all. There's the Rotary Club's having a flea market by the Safeway, which actually happened. All this stuff, and then this was hey, fun food and music at the winery from like 4 to 9 p.m. Come by, they had all these. It was a really beautiful setup, all these tables and chairs, and people were bringing their kids, and saw a couple of dogs. Always cool to see dogs, good dogs. They're all good dogs there. And you go in there, and she, the other wife, is they're members, so you go in, and they get the discount. And we had a bucket with ice at our table because you can drink the wine, and we had great seats, they were all great seats, and we're sitting there, and what was it called, dude? It was Grenache Blanc, I think is what it's called. It's a white wine. I don't know, white wine. And of course, I did the thing where I snuck a look at the menu, at the layout of all the wines they have. And then, of course, when you get your wine glass, you pour the wine in, you do the swirly thing with the wine, then you tip your glass a little bit to look at the legs. I know how to do all that. I don't know what any of it means, but I know how to do it. They sniff. Oh, it smells like grapes. And then you drink it. And so, of course, I take a sip. We all cheers, take a sip. I go, you know what? I'm getting a little honeydew melon, a little vanilla finish. Even a little tobacco in there. And my wife's just like, dude, shut up. It triggers her every time, pisses her off because she knows I'm faking it. Well, let me just say, so we go there, and this is why I'm a great guy to hang out with, truly, because I'm the DD. I'm the designated driver, right? I'm the guy that's I have no problems. There's no flipping of a coin. There's no drawing the short straw. I don't drink. Like I said, I drink twice a year, if that. So I'm happy to do it. It's my contribution. People can go out, they have a good time. People I love. I can make sure they get home safely. It's fun. I've done that forever. Well, man, it tasted good, though. It really did. It actually tasted good. So, my whole thing was we were going to be there 4 hours. I can have a glass right away, and then I'm done. About an hour, 15 minutes later, Chris, we're seated. You gotta go down a couple of steps to the little area where the band's playing. They're playing, Candy. No, I wish. No, it wasn't one of them. It was like 4 old dudes. Like, they all had to be in their 60s and 70s. They were actually, I don't know if they were good or if it's like.
I mean, you are basically describing them.
I'm saying, like, how, okay, how do I say this? One thing alcohol does is sometimes it makes things that don't look great look fantastic in the moment. Just in general, food tastes better, whatever you want to apply that to. I don't know if it works with bands or not, but I feel like it did. Like, this band was probably not as good as I thought they were. But, at one point, they're, welcome in the Rosanna. And I'm just like, yeah. So hour later, here comes Dave with 2 buckets. I go up there. I grab 2 more bottles of Grenache Blanc. I'm coming down the steps. And, of course, Melissa's like, dude. And then I pull one of her lines, that I get on her when she's, 12 bourbons deep on a Thursday. I'm like, really? Anything else? Why are you stepping on my joy? Sit down. We pounded 5 bottles of that, and I was a good part of that. And, it was great. Great view, great weather. Best band I've ever seen live at a winery on a Saturday in Placerville. Everybody's friendly and awesome. I'm being social. I met like 12 people, made new friends. Some guy who just retired from being a park ranger was there with his grandkids, and we were chatting it up. Some about drinking makes me more social.
Huh.
I know, right?
Maybe you should do it more often.
So the food provided. There was a taco truck there we started smelling at some point. Man, awesome. And we knew I knew that at some point we were going back home, and the plan was I was making dinner. That was the plan. I was making dinner that night. Well, so I go and I chat. I'm like, I'm going to go grab us some tacos. Go to the taco truck. There's like 30 people in line. I'm like, okay. I go back. I sit down. I'm like, man, I'm hungry. This tacos smell great. And the other wife gets into her purse. She pulls out a Ziploc bag of purse Cheez-Its.
Total mom move.
Total mom move, dude. But guess what? We're sitting around, and I'm eating them Cheez-Its like popcorn. And God dang, those are some good Cheez-Its. Watching the band, eating Cheez-Its. Hammered. I mean, I don't have a tolerance anyways, but I am a big dude. Hammered. Needless to say, we Ubered home. And you know what? I will say this. I pulled it off. We got home. I drank a nice big glass of water. And the rest of them continued the night in the backyard table. I got in the kitchen and whipped up one of the best batches of chili I've ever made in my life. Still don't know how that all happened, but did it, pulled it off. Everyone's happy. And then we watched Ocean's 11 with the whole all the families gathering. We watched Ocean. I think I made it 10 minutes in. And then the issue was, oh my God, the next day. Now I didn't Advil. I didn't prep. There are times where I will take literally a sip just so I could taste it, either of her bourbon or a glass of wine or something. And before the night is over, my head starts hurting. And the next day I'm just screwed for the first 3 hours. That has happened more than once, which is a huge reason I don't drink. I woke up the next morning. I actually slept into like 5:30, which is, I swear to God, that's sleeping in for me. I felt perfect. Not a single, nothing. Felt great. What about my day? And that's my drinking story. But I don't think I'm going to be the guy. I'm not going to tempt fate. I'll drink again, on New Year's or something. But every once in a while, I dip my toe in the water. And I would say over the weekend that was I kind of just dove in. There was no dipping the toe in the water. By the way, also woke up this morning and get the cup of coffee, sit down, open up the prep sheet we have, the document. And obviously today is one of the last days we're going to have a ton of sports to talk about. I mean, we have a packed show for you.
What are you talking about? Draft's Thursday.
I'm just saying, like, today, barring like crazy Kings trades, a tragedy, big news events, this is really, this is going to be the biggest one probably till August, September. We'll have draft, we'll have free agents. Again, barring King stuff. Anyways, I open up and I want to say thank you to Alan for filling in Friday. I look at the prep sheet. I'm like, what is it? It took me a second to like, what is this? Man, I've never seen it look like I'm not insulting him in any way. He just preps a lot. There's a lot of stuff on there, man. I cannot imagine he got to all, even in leading off, there's like 50 things.
Yeah, that's one of the things. Like, so leading off, we like play the sound and then we get into everything. Well, that first part of it, because that scared me too. He's just like, no, I just want to say what we're going to be talking about today.
Hey, look, you gotta respect the guy that everybody's got their own ways about it. I would imagine there was somebody that woke up on Friday morning and turned on the old radio or whatever at 6 a.m. and was like, what is all this?
Hey, they finally did it.
Right. What is all this content between 6 and 6:10? Isn't this where Dave tells a stupid story about the weekend? What are we doing here? Are we doing radio? Well, there we are. How was your weekend, by the way?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, that's it.
With the baseball game.
Did you?
Well, David's baseball game.
He
went yard.
Did you
Crushed it.
Hey, that a kid. Look at him. Look at him. He was probably talking garbage the whole way around, knowing him. Just talking trash to everybody. Maybe he drew a picture of the pitcher.
Oh, that wasn't a good pitch. Were you trying to get it past me?
I can also add to the announcements. It was made official over the weekend. I now hold tickets to a baseball game at Sutter Health Park next month. Or August, I should say.
I also have tickets.
Yeah.
In September to Sutter Health Park.
Who are you seeing? Who are they playing?
The Reds.
The Reds.
Got a pretty good deal on all you can eat and drink.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Well, the bad news or sad news is I'm finally for the first time this season I will be attending a game there. But I think we're playing the like Las Vegas Bees or something because I'm going to a River Cats game. What's up? No sellouts here.
Yeah,
Ooh.
there are no sellouts at Sutter Health Park. It's been a big deal.
Yeah, there's none. Meanwhile, Chris is all like, keep the team in Oakland. Oh, wait. Oh, you can eat and drink?
My goal is to take money from them.
John Fisher's not that bad. Well, I'm going to go, but I'm not going to like it. All right, let's lead it off, please.
Let's do it. Leading off.
Not gonna
the
like
three
it.
top stories in the morning.
Huge news. This is very important.
Here's cut number one.
Well, you can hardly ask for a better performance, particularly given the...
Yeah, sorry. I forgot to tell you. I did what you said. Yeah, it's not in there.
Oh,
Yeah. Just so everybody understands, there was yet another computer thingy migration. I don't know. Something dark side. And yeah, so what happens there normally is Chris did some maneuverations on some things, but still couldn't get into the folder I needed to get into and actually play the sounds that we needed to play. Do you have it up? Nope, he's working on. Oh, he's coming in here. Nope, he's coming in here. And I'm going to watch Chris because I brought up our other audio. Is there a way you can do where you can leave that up? Oh, he's adding a tab. Up, he's on the desktop. Going to the shortcut I went to. Yep. New home. Click. This is how many times you have to click. Clicked again. That's 3, 4, 5 clicks. Now we're in the gear.
I think I know where I put it.
Oh, now we're backing out. After 6 clicks, we'll go back to 5. Did you really? 6?
Yep.
For some reason, it's in podcasts. Sorry, I didn't look there.
Why did you go there?
I don't know why I didn't go to podcasts. Okay, cut 1.
Thunder fans feel this moment. The uncommon young team proves to be unstoppable. It's over at Paycom Center. Final in Game 7. The Thunder 103, the Pacers 91. A dream realized. The storybook season is complete. The final chapter reads, the Oklahoma City Thunder are the 2025 NBA champions.
See, I'm okay with that. That's a great hometown call. And when I say I'm okay with that there's obviously some rehearsal going on there. And there's some people in the business that think, you say it off the top of your head. I think for a moment, you get one of those moments. I'm not saying the guy should have, had a sheet in front of him. But you're gonna want to have this is an iconic call. Imagine again Gary Gerald calling the final seconds of a Sacramento. I know it's a stretch, but just imagine for a second. You want to get it right. This is a call that's going to be replayed after you die. This is a call that's going to be replayed for all of eternity while there are sports shows. And so there, there's definitely some lines in there that I imagine were rehearsed. I think I think that's doing your job. The Oklahoma City Thunder are the champions of the world. And
I was rooting against the Pacers, but the only reason I wanted the Pacers to win was to hear their final call, because we've heard him all playoffs where he'd be like, in a tough loss for the Oklahoma City Thunder.
It would have been exactly if the Pacers had won. I'd been like, well, and the Pacers win a Game 7 and celebrate Indiana. We're obviously going to spend a ton of time on this. And oh, by the way, a massive trade happened. We'll get to in a second. How did your feelings maneuverate, if at all, after the injury? Because I found myself, I've been OKC all year long and all playoffs long, and I didn't budge off of that, but I got to a point where after Tyrese went down, I went, you know what, honestly, if Indiana wins this, it's an iconic, insane moment. I'm as somebody without a dog in the fight, I'm good with either outcome.
You'd have to ask, maybe the Pacers are better without Tyrese Haliburton.
Well, trust me, there would have been some pretty heavy takes. And I don't think the hot take would have been, are the Pacers better without Tyrese Haliburton? I think that the take would have been, had the Pacers won, it would have been, did Tyrese Haliburton's injury actually save the Pacers from themselves? In other words, is a fully healthy XYZ player filling in better than a hobbled Tyrese Haliburton pre-Achilles, but with the calf strain? But did that make the decision easier for that? I think that's what would have been the Galaxy brain attempt at a take today. And look, this series was so much better than I thought it would be, and I'm so glad it was. This truly was. I mean, look, I don't want to blow all the takes in the first segment here. Recency bias is a big thing. We all get caught in the moment, okay? And that's, of course, going to happen. This is no different. But here's some truths. This is one of the most unique NBA finals we've ever had. One very small and another smaller market going at it. It's the first time in 5 years, and I think only the third time in the last 15, that a champion has not paid the luxury tax. You have these two teams that are not dynasties. They're not the Celtics. They're not the Lakers. They're just, teams. You had an all-time postseason and NBA Finals playoff performance with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. You had one of the all-time seemingly improbable runs from the Pacers that gave us, with Tyrese Haliburton at the forefront, so many crazy memories, whether it was last-second shots or upsetting, the Knicks, the Celtics, the game ones that they stole, all that stuff. And I'm so happy as a basketball fan with the postseason. I'm not happy with the injuries, and we're going to get into that later. Not just Haliburton, but so many others. I'm sorry, I said Celtics. I meant Cavaliers. It was just an awesome series, dude. And yes, it is horrible that Haliburton went down, especially with the start he was having. But I refuse to take, not buying into the NBA is the most dramatic league out there by far, with the some of the dumbest fans. And I don't mean that as a whole. I mean, there is a small percentage of the dumbest fans that are fans of the NBA. Generally, they're like 19 or younger, all over social media, calling it a, Mickey Mouse chip. There's always a reason if their team doesn't win it, which their team is almost always the Lakers. There's always a reason. I'm not taking anything away from Oklahoma City. Part of the finals and part of the playoffs, it's a game of attrition. Everyone's banged up. Injuries almost always happen. It's part of the game. Now, it sucks. It sucks. It sucks for the Pacers, obviously, but it also sucked for the Thunder, too. Tyrese Haliburton going down. Because that now all of a sudden you have that topic of whether, an asterisk, a question mark. I'm not putting any question marks or asterisks on this. Oklahoma City, they were the best team in the regular season. They won the NBA Finals. They had to get to the NBA Finals in order to do that. The fact that it was a 7-game series is just full credit to the Pacers. And probably a little bit of youth on the Thunder's part. I expect there will be future playoff performances for this team, barring injury, that are even better runs. They're the champions. It's not a coincidence. It's like the year Denver won it. Nobody believed it, or I shouldn't say nobody. They didn't get credit. They didn't get credit. They were the best team in the regular season. They still didn't get credit. They made it to the finals. They still didn't get credit. Then they won. It was like, oh, really? Well, yeah, they were the best team all year. Oklahoma City was the best team all season long. They had the best player, the new face of the league. We're going to get into that a ton today. And boy, do we have video. We have audio. We have stats. So we got to finish this up real quick, though. Cut number 2, please.
Cut number 2.
For the last 24 hours, Miami and Houston were competing against each other to see who would have the best package for Kevin Durant at the end of the day. And what that showed is that at the trade deadline, Kevin Durant was blindsided when he was included in any type of trade talk. But now he was in the driver's seat. He had a voice in this. Him and his business manager and partner, Rich Kleiman, worked with the Suns on his potential destinations. And the Heat made offers, but they never included a full package that had Nikola Jovic, Haywood Highsmith, Jaime Jaquez, and the draft assets necessary. And they wouldn't put Khalil Ware in. And so from the Rockets' perspective, they gave up a 23-year-old prolific scoring guard, as well as a 3-and-D player that fit the Suns' grit and toughness that they want moving forward. But make no mistake, for the Rockets, this is a win-now move around the league. Everyone knows it.
this is something that gives them a number one option and allows them to really take a step in the playoffs potentially next season.
Yeah, Kevin Durant goes to Houston. That was it was Miami, Houston, or San Antonio, long rumored. San Antonio stuck to their guns. Kevin Durant got to go to one of the places he wanted to go to, and we'll take a look at Houston a bit later. Coming up at 6:44, what does that mean for them in a very, very crowded West? A tale of two conferences next year. One absolutely hobbled by injury, no pun intended, and the other just overflowing with talents. Finally, cut number 3, please.
Cut number 3.
2-2. Narvaez strikes out swinging. And the game is over. The series is over. The Giants make it 2 in a row against the Red Sox. And they beat Boston today by the final score of 9-5.
9-5. 9 runs. 9 runs for the Giants. What? Yeah, 9 runs on 11 hits. And another comeback victory for them. Mike Yastrzemski with a home run. Willie Adames with a home run. His bat's been waking up. He's now at 208. Remember, before the Devers trade, he was under 200. I know 208's nothing to shake a stick at, but if that bat wakes up, look out. And Elliot Ramos with 4 RBI. He has been a major bat. Despite, by the way, a couple of fielding issues. Major bat for the Giants. We'll get into that as well a bit later, but the Giants do take 2 of 3 from the Red Sox and have a reunification, if you will, rather quickly of Rafael Devers and his old team. We will take a break. When we come back and throughout the day, we will talk about the NBA Finals. We will talk about this trade. We will talk about, of course, your Sacramento Kings. And we will talk about a small market winning it all in the face of the odds. And could that be us someday? And if it is, could Golden One Center match the energy you saw out there in Oklahoma City? I think we could. I think we'd do more than match. But, got to get there first. Let's talk about American Energy, heating and air. Let's talk about a $24.50 tune-up, which is half price. As we are officially in summer. Now is the time to make sure that your system is running cleanly and smoothly. I had a tune-up a few months ago. I told you guys the story. They found a carbon monoxide leak in my furnace. Ended up replacing it. Got a phenomenal deal on it. It's great. Now, I hope that's not the case for you. But one great thing about getting your system checked out is you have that peace of mind knowing that odds are your system's going to run all summer long. You're not going to be stuck in the middle of July with an outage for some reason and be sweating and sitting in cold bathtubs until they get out there, whomever it may be. And all of this from a company that's been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A+ Better Business Bureau. Give them a call, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990. AmericanEnergyAir.com. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable. We'll take a break. When we come back, the Giants take 2 of 3. Do we have a new MVP in the AL? As Mason Miller starting to look at ways to put his house on the market. We'll talk about that next.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime. We're not here to be the biggest. We're here to bring you something we believe is better. Our plans start at just $20. You'll get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Jane has 150,000 miles on her truck, and she's proud of that. Jane's secret, AutoZone, where friendly AutoZoners help her find the right parts. Jane's brother Josh only cares that his car starts and goes, but when it doesn't, he also goes to AutoZone, where friendly AutoZoners help with free services. No hassles, just help. Everything you need, nothing you don't. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Restrictions apply.
When you're young, life is full of choices. Don't let opioids like highly addictive and deadly fentanyl take away your life with just one wrong pill. Addiction is a disease that can affect anyone at any age. But there is a choice to get help for this disease. Find medically proven treatment options, including virtual, at choosemat.org.
Since 1776, July 4th has been celebrated as the birth of American independence, but has been a federal holiday only since 1941. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. It was a mere 7 years later when the Keys family opened their first Naturewood store in Sacramento, and I guess Northern Californians have been celebrating ever since. We celebrate an incredible selection of furniture brands made right here in America. We celebrate the kind of generous hometown hospitality that was important to Walter Keys in 1948 and continues with the Keys family and the Naturewood Home Furnishing staff today. And we celebrate the kind of quality that's been synonymous with Naturewood for all these 77 years. Look for made-in-America brands like Stickley, Bassett, Stanton, Trailway, Simply Amish, and more during the Naturewood 4th of July sales event. Find the furniture that you will celebrate for years to come. Naturewood Home Furnishings off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
Around here, the summer can smack you silly, especially if your AC is not functioning at a high level. Whitey Gleason here. I had the opposite problem over the winter. System went down. It was panic time, but Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating saved the day. Let them save you from unnecessary summer misery. Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating, reliable, trustworthy. They do great work. They've won awards for their service. Check the reviews at leesair.com. Find out about their $99 HVAC tune-up service. Save your summer now. Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating on the web at leesair.com. License number 635355.
People are coming from all over to Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, from Folsom, Elk Grove, Woodland, Roseville, because they've seen for themselves the huge selection and the best prices at SacSuperstore.com. Good luck finding a lower price anywhere else. And if you do, they'll match it. It's as simple as that. Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, where a handshake still means something. Open until 10 o'clock and centrally located right across from Hagen Oaks Golf Course. And online at SacSuperstore.com. The guaranteed lowest price and the best selection of Dodge, Chrysler, Jeeps, and Rams. SacSuperstore.com.
Safe or out? It's time to go around baseball. 3 pitches, 3 swings. It's safe or out on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
All right, coming up next, Kevin Durant traded to Houston. What does that mean? Well, it means he got traded to Houston, dummy. But also the domino effect and what it's like to trade a star player to a team he wants to go to. Imagine that one. In the meantime, Jason on vacation, Christopher Lott in, safe or out? Question 1.
The Giants took 2 of 3 from the Red Sox over the weekend. Safe or out? Even playing the Red Sox so soon is a work of the baseball gods.
Yeah, I think it is. Even just playing them that soon is. Devers gets traded, rocks the baseball world, especially the chowderheads out there. Everyone's going crazy. And here we go. The only thing that would have been better is if it was the Giants at Fenway. That would have been better. See what kind of reception Devers would have gotten. Bats were on fire, though, yesterday.
Ramos drives one down the right field line. Anthony's not going to get it. One hop into the second archway. Yastrzemski scores. Here comes Devers around third. And the Red Sox will not make a throw home. And it's 8-5 Giants.
One thing I learned, too, is Giants broadcaster Dave Fleming, who for a long time was one of the youngest in the league, has a younger brother that broadcasts for the Red Sox. I probably should have known that. I didn't know that. They actually did a couple innings together, which is, how cool is that? 2 brothers calling games at the major league level one for two pretty damn big teams. Good weekend for the Giants, and they are off today, I believe. We'll try to continue as they are, I think last I checked, 3 back of the Dodgers going into this week. Let me see, 3.5 back. So we'll see if the bats can wake up. Question 2, please.
Seattle's Cal Raleigh hit his 31st home run, and we're less than halfway through the year. Safe or out? He is your AL MVP.
So for me, if I was an MVP voter, I do take position into account. I think you should take position into account. And, for example, if you got a guy who's a DH or an outfielder, no offense to them, but still, versus just a killer shortstop, second baseman, or in this case, catcher, they're when you're talking most valuable player, to me, a catcher, position-wise, is more valuable than an outfielder. Just is. Just offers more. Cal Raleigh right now is just insane. 276, 31 home runs, 66 RBI. That's first in home runs, second in RBI, second in OPS. But come on, man. Look, we'll see. Never say never and all that fun stuff. But there's a guy on the East Coast named Aaron Judge who is leading the league in batting average. He's 4 home runs behind Cal Raleigh for second. He's first in OPS. He's got 61 RBI. That's top 5. I mean, he's within range of a triple crown and was batting 400 for much of the season. It's still Aaron Judge, but Cal Raleigh is having just an insane year. It'll be interesting to see if he can continue this. Also on Aaron Judge's ESPN bio page, it says birthplace, Linden, California. That needs to change.
He's from Linden.
He's from Linden, but that's not his birthplace. His birthplace is Sacramento, California. This is misinformation. And there's no debate there. Where was he born? Sacramento.
What hospital?
What? I actually know that. I don't think it was Mercy. I want to say it was downtown, though. I
Sutter?
I knew this, damn it. It might be Mercy. I don't think it's Sutter. Now, if it said hometown, Linden, no problem. This is birthplace. You can only have one birth. It's literally in the word, the place you were birthed, the place you were born. That's Sacramento. There's no argument. There's no debate. It's misinformation. Fake news, ESPN. Question 3.
After losing 2 in a row, the A's are 9 out of the wild card spot. Safe or out? Mason Miller is pitching his last games for the Athletics.
I mean, it should be safe. And A's fans, I'm not advocating, look, I get it. I'm just simply talking about the position the team is in, both in the standings and also, they're the Athletics and they're owned by John Fisher. There are a lot of pitching injuries around Major League Baseball right now. And teams like the Yankees, who lost their closer for an extended period of time, and there are plenty of other teams that have World Series aspirations that very much need a closer. Mason Miller has perhaps the most electric arm in Major League Baseball. And by the way, makes, nothing. And I'm talking nothing from a Major League Baseball point of view. So, yeah, Mason Miller should be traded before the deadline because the A's, and that's the only way they can function with that owner, can probably get quite the haul for somebody like him. But it's the A's. They're inept. Not the players, the organization. Not the organization, the ownership. There are many, many fine people in that organization. But yeah. And A's fans get it. They've been through it before. Pretty much every year. Every year this century. It's unfortunate, but that's the world we live in. We'll take a break. When we come back, Kevin Durant traded to Houston. What does that mean other than the fact that, he got traded to Houston? Where does that leave Phoenix? Where does that leave Houston going into next year? We'll talk about it next.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Comcast Business, powering possibilities. Well, the way Nick Kurtz has been going, it's easy to forget that just over a year ago, he was finishing his college career at Wake Forest. Back-to-back game-winning home runs, including the 447-foot walk-off shot against the Astros to begin the most recent homestand, the longest walk-off for the A's since they began keeping track of those things 10 years ago. Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. It's how retailers become seamlessly restocking, cyber-securing must-visit shops. And it's how healthcare offices become data-managing caregivers that we all depend on. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solutions, and Wi-Fi backup, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business.
With 25 award-winning years in Northern California, Ashton & Price is your local injury law firm. Pro attorney tip: if a firm presents as local, but they're in LA, red flag. If your first consultation is not with a lawyer, big red flag. At Ashton & Price, your first consult is with a local attorney, and if serious injury prevents travel, a lawyer will come to you. Still not enough? George Washington's my uncle. At Ashton & Price, no red flags, just red, white, and blue.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
How can you free your team from time-consuming office tasks? Amazon Business. Smart business buying tools enable buyers to find and purchase items fast so they can focus on strategy and growth. Free up your teams and focus on your future. Learn more at AmazonBusiness.com.
Look, I played a lot of golf courses in Sacramento, but if you want pristine conditions, a fun layout, and 27 holes that never get old, Timber Creek and Sierra Pines is the spot. The fairway is perfect. The greens, smooth and true. The practice facility, next level. And whether you're out for a casual round or hosting a big tournament, Timber Creek delivers every time. The course is always in top shape. The staff treats you right. And the experience, it's unmatched. It's easily my favorite place to play in Sacramento. Book your tee time now at timbercreekgc.com.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
on Sacktown Sports.
The Suns traded Kevin Durant to the Houston Rockets for Jalen Green, Dillon Brooks, the number 10 pick in this year's draft, along with 5 second-round picks. What's crazy is Kevin Durant found out on stage at the big Fanatics event. I don't mean like an event with a bunch of crazy people. I mean like the company Fanatics.
I mean, you might be right.
Yeah, that's probably true. He was on stage when it happened, which is, and by the way, don't mistake that with he was on stage when he found out. He knew. Also, shout out to the NBA for letting this happen on a, you got game 7 coming up, dude. What are we doing? Now, one thing that's very important, Kevin Durant has now officially completed the NBA Rainbow Challenge. What is that, you might ask? He has now played for a team who has colors, every color of the rainbow. All he needed was Rockets red, Oklahoma City orange, Warriors yellow, Seattle green, OKC blue, Nets indigo, Phoenix violet. Remember, kids, Roy G. Biv.
Can go Kings indigo, huh?
I know. Yeah, so he was on stage when he found out, which was interesting. So he goes to the Rockets. Now, as far as what does this do for the Suns? It gives them a youngster in Jalen Green that has a ton of talent. It will be interesting to see Green paired up with Devin Booker, your guy. You got a 23-year-old, won't be 24 until February, who averaged 21 points, a little under 5 boards, a little over 3 assists. His percentages aren't great, but he's tracking to be one of the better scorers in the league. Phoenix also gets Dillon Brooks, which will, say what you want about Dillon Brooks. They'll give him a little bit of toughness. They get that number 10 pick, which I imagine, I could be wrong, but I imagine they're going to use on a center. Let me look at the Phoenix proposed depth chart here. Yeah, Booker, Green. Right now they have Grayson Allen and Dillon Brooks at the 3 and the 4. And Nick Richards, Mason Plumlee, and Bol at the 5. Yeah, that will change, I would imagine. Gives them a little bit of draft capital they didn't have. A lot of second-round picks in there. And for Houston, look, it gives you I still think the best scorer in the league, pound for pound. Not named Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, but even with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Kevin Durant's just a walking bucket. He may be the best pure scorer of all time. He's certainly in the conversation. They're going to go, you would assume, with Fred VanVleet. Remember, they had Reed Shepherd chilling on the bench. He was the number 3 pick in the draft last year. He just turned, as a matter of fact, he turns 21 tomorrow. Amen Thompson, who's a stud. Alperen Şengün, who's a stud. Steven Adams, Durant's old friend, re-signed there very quietly. That was kind of a tip-off there. The question with Houston is this. Here's the scary thing. If you're the Houston Rockets and you're a Rockets fan, did you just mess around a little bit? You're talking about a Houston team that won 52 games last year. It was the number 2 seed in the Western Conference. It was Oklahoma City and then a bunch of other teams. Remember, Oklahoma City finished 16 games ahead of the Houston Rockets. There was a 16-game difference between the 1 seed and the 2 seed. That's got to be close to, if not a record. And then the difference between the Rockets and the number 6 seed Timberwolves, 3 games. 16 between first and second, 3 between second and sixth. And if you want to go down to all the way to 8, there's a 4-game difference. 1/4 of the lead OKC had. So the Rockets were at a point, and I appreciate this, where they were saying, okay, we're young, we're up and coming. We got a 2 seed, but we are so far away from the Oklahoma City Thunder. It's not funny. We might as well be an 8 seed. Let's do something about it. Well, what the Rockets have now assumedly done is they have shortened their window, at least for now. They have shortened their window. Whatever you want to say about Kevin Durant, that's good. One thing that is undeniable is that Kevin Durant is in a full-on brawl with Father Time right now. He will be 37 years old before the season starts, September 29th. He will be 37, and this is a guy who in the last 2 years has played more games than pretty much any year since 2020. 75 2 years ago, 62 last year. Now, obviously, he did that coming off the Achilles. But you're still talking about a guy who's going to be 37 years old next year. The good news about Kevin Durant, though, he's just so damn skilled. He's 7 foot. He's not a guy that necessarily is relying on super quick twitch. I'm not saying you're not going to get a good couple 3 years out of Durant, but that's about what you're going to get. A couple 3. You just traded a 21-year-old for a 36-year-old. It's definitely an upgrade. It's 100% an upgrade. But now they're on the clock. The Houston Rockets have officially put themselves on the clock. Who won the trade? Look, I think Matt Ishbia, who knows if he'll figure it out or not. But Matt Ishbia is dealing with a scorching case of new owner syndrome. I actually like this move for Phoenix. This is they had to. They had to move him. They were going absolutely nowhere. They did not make the playoffs. They had no draft picks. They're capped out. Nobody's touching Bradley Beal unless it's a buyout, which John Gambadoro down in Phoenix, who does afternoons there and has forever and knows anything involving the Suns. He is by far the best source down there. Says that Bradley Beal will be bought out imminently. There will be some sort of a move there. These are not sexy moves, but they're smart moves. You have to get yourself out of that. And they get a young guy. They get a young guy, Jalen Green. And I don't need to tell you that there are times when you trade away young players, a guard, for example, and it does come back and bite you in the end. There are or were rumors that the Suns will look to reroute Jalen Green to another team. Again, sources down there say nope. So I think this is the first step. I think this is the first step in Phoenix trying to do the right thing. So we'll see if Houston is able to get to the final / win a title. Yeah, they won the trade. But this may be one of those win the battle, win the war things. I think for Phoenix, this is just they need to start acting like a grown-up franchise here and not a win now, forget the rest type of franchise. And it looks like, at least from this, the adults are in the room and they're starting the long process of trying to remake this franchise and make them competitive. And as Sam Presti will tell us a bit later, there are no shortcuts. Also, at some point, we'll see if we have time to talk about Boogie Cousins alleging that there were fistfights, plural, in the Phoenix locker room last year. Of course, KD denied that. I don't know why Kevin Durant would lie. I don't think DeMarcus is lying. I think, if anything, maybe the person that told DeMarcus that was wrong. Say what you want about KD. I don't think he would deny that. He's usually pretty blunt, sometimes too blunt. We'll take a break. When we come back, 3 for Madness. Was this the first domino? The insanity that will be the East next year? And are we looking at the first of a repeat champion? Then we'll get into the Thunder right after that for the bulk of the program. We'll take a break. We'll come back right after this.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Elk Grove Honda.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA3 Weather Center. Welcome to your Monday. Getting out the door, a cool start thanks to a light breeze. We head through the afternoon with mostly sunny skies. Today, temperatures warmer. Expect daytime highs in the lower 90s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA3 News and the KCRA3 app.
At Elk Grove Honda, we've acquired some of the best pre-owned cars we can find. Whether you purchase a new Honda or a like-new pre-owned Honda, Elk Grove Honda has the right Honda at the right price. In the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 and Elk Grove Boulevard, or elkgrovehonda.com.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda. Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. Subcontractorsunited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed cracks in your drywall, chimney, or exterior walls? I hope not, because if you have, they could be indications that you've got a much bigger problem with your foundation. That's where Groundworks comes in. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to stabilize your foundation. Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin. And over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave here for American Energy, and oh my goodness, I'm born and raised here. I know it gets hot, but my goodness, we're already seeing 100-degree days. Listen to me. You do not want your system to conk out in the middle of June or July or August with one of those big 100-degree stretches. You want to make sure you're good all summer long. And my friends at American Energy Heating and Air can do that with a $24.50 tune-up right now. That's half price. And if you need a new system, $3,500 off, up to $3,500 off in rebates for qualified systems. They've been around since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. Call them right now, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990. Jingle Singers, take it away.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Hot summer savings explode at Maida's Elk Grove Chevy. Save $12,000 off MSRP after rebates. Every new 2025 Silverado half-ton LT and RST in stock. Maida Chevy has similar savings on every new Silverado. One of the largest selections in the Sacramento area. $12,000 off new Silverado exclusively at the Maida Chevy Silverado Supercenter. Now that's big, huge. See them all at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
West rating 2011 renewed. Not available with special financing, lease, and some other offers.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, Sacktown Sports 1140. 3 questions, 3 answers. It's 3 for Madness on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Here's question 1.
Coming up a bit later in the program, well, at 9 a.m. to be exact, we'll tell you why it was a bittersweet evening for Seattle. Obviously, watching Oklahoma City win a title wasn't fun, but
I mean, being in Seattle itself is just bitter.
I love Seattle. We're different there. Love Seattle. Love being there. Love their weather. Love their weather.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But I think in the end, it's about to be a very, very happy time for basketball fans in Seattle.
They'll always be upset and angry and sad.
Okay.
They deserve more.
I mean, I'm not entirely disagreeing with you there. 3 for Madness, question 1, please.
Is Kevin Durant the first domino of the offseason?
Yeah, he is. I think a lot of teams were waiting on Durant to see what would happen there, what the market would be set at. Obviously, Durant's a unique dude when it comes to value. But yeah, also not for nothing, went to school in Austin. So he is, familiar with Texas, and Texas is quite familiar with him. But yeah, it's the first domino. Now, as Alan explained on Friday, and I can absolutely back up these talks that what was the rumor? If Miami doesn't get Durant, they're gonna go after DeRozan as a backup. I mean, look, that may happen. Anything can happen, but there have been no talks, at least as of last week, between the Kings and the Heat regarding DeRozan specifically, and they have talked. But that's a little overblown. But I do think now all of a sudden for the Kings, the market's going to open up, especially for DeRozan, where I'm saying this not tongue in cheek because I don't want to be disrespectful to DeMar DeRozan, but please believe I understand how ridiculous this may sound to some. But DeMar DeRozan is kind of a diet, great value, cheaper version of a Kevin Durant. And what I mean by that is there are teams out there that are going to want mid-range scoring, and that's what DeMar DeRozan provides. And he's one of the best in the league at it, and he costs about half of what Durant does, and he's younger. All I'm saying is that obviously Durant's the prize there, but if you can't get that, and 29 teams can, or 28 can't now, counting the Suns, then DeMar DeRozan is not a bad, okay, we need some scoring punch. We need to bring in a veteran. Let's not forget, too, DeMar DeRozan's an incredible human being and a great influence on the locker room, and he's got time left. He's a talented scorer. So it'll be very interesting. I think really the first big test of Scott Perry's tenure. Speaking of Scott Perry, do we have our Monday motivation music? Speaking of Scott Perry's tenure, I think it'll be very interesting to see the market and what they end up doing with DeRozan, who I can all but, and I've been saying this for weeks, if not months now, I can all but give you a 100% guarantee that both DeRozan and Zach LaVine will not start the year with the Kings next year. One of them's going, if not both. It'll be interesting to see what the market is for LaVine, too, if there is any. All right, give me the music here. We have Monday Motivation. He put it out this morning. Scott Perry did it. 4:30. 4:30 in the morning. He's working them phones. All right, Scott Perry's Monday Motivation. Trust in the dream which you have been given. Some people will try and convince you that your dreams won't ever happen. When you move forward in faith and understanding, you can realize your dreams and goals. Work hard, believe in yourself, and good things will follow. That's your Monday Motivation. You know what? I think he writes these. I don't think he's taking these from some. I mean, if he is, fine. No disrespect if he's lifting these from somebody else, but it does kind of look like I think he's actually writing these up. At the end of the year, you should put them on a little bit book, a little bitty book. Sell it for charity. Scott Perry's Monday Motivations. Brought to you by Scott Perry. Question 2, please.
Question 2.
How insanely wide open is the East next season?
Yo, it is. Good luck. Now, I don't know about funny. The strangest thing of all may be that we be looking at the Knicks as the favorites. And who knows how they're going to respond from this Tom Thibodeau situation. Whether it's Mike Brown or Taylor Jenkins or somebody else. But you've got the number 2 seed Boston Celtics are without their best player next year due to an Achilles. The Eastern Conference champion Indiana Pacers. Now, nothing's official. Nothing's been announced yet, but I'm about as sure that Tyrese Haliburton tore his Achilles as I am that LaVine and DeRozan won't start the year next year with the Kings. You could see the sucker pop. And so he's likely out all next season. So the Pacers, the defending Eastern Conference champion, missing their either, whether you call him their best player or not, he is the heart and soul of that team. He is out. The Bucks, without Dame Lillard, he is out. Now, I'm saying this June 23rd. We don't know what moves are coming, but Orlando obviously saw this and said, okay, we gotta figure something out here. So they go get Desmond Bane. Detroit's on the up. But assuming the Celtics, the Pacers, and the Bucks are out as far as Eastern Conference champions, that most likely leaves you with the Magic, the Pistons, the Knicks, and oh, by the way, the team that won 64 games last year, the Cleveland Cavaliers. So is the East wide open? Yeah. I still think the Cavs are going to finish with the best. There's no reason to think the Cleveland Cavaliers are not going to finish with the best record in the East. And I think the worst thing they could do would be, they don't need to do what Houston did. They don't need to, Houston said, look, we finished 16 back of OKC. Screw the 2 seed. We finished 16 back of them. We are 16 games worse than the best team in this conference. We need to make a move. I hear that. That is not what happened with Cleveland. Let's not forget, Cleveland won 64 games last year. And they lost in the playoffs to the Pacers, who ended up being 1 game away from a championship, 1 win away from a championship. So I wouldn't mess around if I was Cleveland. If you can add something, great. Nibble around the edges, fine. I think Cleveland's the team to beat in the East, but man, wide open. Also, if you haven't seen this, Damian Lillard, Jason Tatum, Tyrese Haliburton, all tear their Achilles in the postseason. All wore the number 0. I don't even want to put it out there, man. Before you guys, if you're thinking what I'm thinking, if you know the numbers, I will just say, as a general rule, I certainly hope there's a number change in store for the Sacramento Kings roster next season, because they do have a number 0. Just, man, that stuff freaks me out. Just change your number. Just be done with it. All 3 wore 0. Come on, man. That's not a coincidence. That's the basketball gods working some sort of gross, lame juju. Nobody should wear 0 next year. It should be that's a jinxie number now.
What about double 0?
Yeah, it's a good question. I would say this. I mean, on one hand, double 0 is not 0. It's 2 zeros. On the other hand, they're both the same number. They're both
every single
0.
thing that every fan does at home or at the stadium makes a direct impact in the game.
Yeah, it's true. Question 3, please.
Question 3.
Will the Oklahoma City Thunder repeat as champions?
Just playing the odds, I'm going to say yes and no.
Whoa.
Here's what I mean by that.
You're right either way.
The spirit of the question is, are they going to win the championship next year? I'm going to say no, just because it's so hard to repeat, dude. It's so hard to repeat. You need injury luck. You need a lot of things to go your way, and it's not like they had a super easy ride there either. But what I mean by yes is I do think this team will be champions again. It's just if I had to guess, I'd say, yeah, at some point, maybe in 2 years, 3, whatever, they'll win it again. They will repeat as champions. I just don't think they'll go back to back. And I have no logic there other than it just rarely happens. But they should. They should repeat. There's no reason, barring injury, the Oklahoma City Thunder don't repeat. Whatever you saw in this postseason that you deemed as weakness, going to 7 games with the Nuggets, going to 7 games with the Pacers, that one random blowout with Memphis that, before Ja Morant went down. They should. They're that good. And let's get to it, kids. There's some real truths that people really need to accept. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is the face of the NBA. Now, there's many faces of the NBA. He's the one. LeBron's old. Durant's old. Steph, old. Jason Tatum's hurt. Talking about the MVP of the season, MVP of the Eastern Conference Finals, MVP of the Finals. He's 26 years old. Scoring champ. Here's another weird truth. Let me go back to what I just said about how he's the face of the franchise. Let me amend that statement, because it's just weird to say. Future first ballot Hall of Famer Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who has cemented his place in the Hall of Fame, is the new face of the NBA. He is. Which is crazy. The Oklahoma City Thunder are so set up, it's absolutely stupid. It is stupid how set up they are. And I got all kinds of numbers and all kinds of things for you. But I want to give Shai Gilgeous-Alexander his flowers. 25 points, 10 assists, 5 rebounds in an NBA Finals Game 7. 5 people have done it. LeBron James, James Worthy, Walt Frazier, Jerry West, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Shooting percentage wasn't that great. The Oklahoma City Thunder, what you guys just saw, it's one of the great title runs in NBA history. All time. Celtics, Lakers, Jordan's Bulls, right there. 1 year. Don't get lost in it. I'm talking about a vacuum. I'm talking about one season. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, his finals run, Jordan-esque. By the numbers. They're Jordan-esque. Now, he's not Michael Jordan. He's got a long way to go. And he won't get there. Because Mike's Mike. But my God. 3,172 points this season, including the playoffs for SGA. That's the most since Michael Jordan. He won the scoring title. He was an MVP on a 68-win team. Conference and finals MVP. Won a championship. It's one of the greatest individual seasons in NBA history. Top 5. Top 5. And if you're going, well, hold on a second, dude. You're a little ahead of yourself with the Hall of... No, I'm not. I'm absolutely not. One MVP in NBA history is not in the Hall of Fame, and that's Derrick Rose. One. Derrick Rose did not win a championship. I don't think. Certainly not as the leader of the team. SGA has done that. We don't like this stuff. We don't, especially in the NBA, we don't like it. The NBA's fan culture is the most toxic of all the sports. It's not particularly of all the American sports. Yeah, sorry. It is filled with, Mickey Mouse rings, bubble rings.
You hear Caruso yesterday?
Yes, I did. Did you see what he tweeted? He goes, guys, I was
joking
3 years
around.
deep. Sarcasm. Most points per game to win the NBA title. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Do you know what the awful thing about all these numbers that you're saying? Is this the Pacers won yesterday? All of those numbers would be the first time a team has done this and didn't win a championship. First time a team has done this and didn't win a championship.
Yes, you're right. Yes, you're right. Only Michael Jordan has more wins when winning the MVP and the finals MVP. By the way, I probably should have looked before I came on. Like the Eastern and Western Conference final MVPs, that's not a new thing, right? Or is it?
I don't think so.
Eastern, I'll just do it on the air. MVPs. Let's see how far it goes back. Because there's one thing that just makes me go crazy. Well, hold on. Why am I only seeing it's 4 years old?
Oh, really?
Is that right? Okay, because I it is. It's 4 years old.
I think we're just thinking of like baseball has those ALCS and MLCS.
Because I'm reading that and the stat going right is the first one to ever do conference and regular season and finals MVP. I'm like, hold on a second. And you're telling me in all 6 Michael Jordan championships, he wasn't the Eastern Conference? What are you talking about? Okay, well, that explains. Well, get out of here with that stat, Dave. It's a stupid stat. That is a stupid stat. Everybody should stop using that immediately. I'll start. Teams with 84 or more wins to win a championship. Michael Jordan's Bulls, they did it twice.
Yeah, but Dave, they only had 5-game playoffs to open up the playoffs.
Another very good point. And if people want to come in, and they will, I'm just trying to head off all the hating right now because we naturally want to hate. I shouldn't say we. There are a lot that naturally want to hate. Well, he's a foul merchant. He's a foul merchant, and it's unethical basketball. Okay, well. Michael Jordan averaged 7.45. I did the numbers. I did them myself I read off my phone and used my son's little phone calculator for this. So beware. Michael Jordan averaged 7.453 free throw attempts per game in his career. SGA 7.019. Michael Jordan averaged 532 free throw attempts per season, including 2 seasons in which he played under 19 games, which skews that quite a bit. Michael Jordan once led the league with 972 free throw attempts. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has never led the league in attempts, and his high was 739. By the way, 532 a year for Jordan, 463 a year, and mostly full seasons for SGA. Is Michael Jordan a free throw merchant? No, don't get me. Now, calm down. Calm yourself. Calm down. I understand. Different style. I understand. If Michael Jordan played today, he'd probably get fouled 100,000 times. Or I'm sorry, he would get it called 100,000 times. Also, Mike didn't shoot threes like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander does. But a couple of things here. Number one, yeah, if Jordan played today, he'd be at the foul line all the time. So, free throw merchant, right? He's at the foul line all the time. That's a free throw merchant. Number two, Jordan wasn't the three-point shooter Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. That is a fact. I understand that things are different, or were different, and are different. But the three was available. It's not like Mike didn't have the opportunity to shoot threes. That just wasn't his game. I don't think Michael Jordan was a free throw merchant, by the way. I also don't think Giannis Antetokounmpo, who leads the league in free throw attempts pretty much every year, I don't think he's a free throw merchant. I don't think SGA is a free throw merchant either. I think what SGA does, if I'm going to criticize, yeah, dude, you see the leg kick out. You see him draw contact. You see him pump fake, get his guy in the air, and then jump up. Yeah, he gets the line, dude. He shoots 90%. Of course he's going to. But to say he's a free throw merchant, you're just discounting the rest of the guy's game. You're just discounting the rest of the guy's game, and that's silly to me. Oh, well, Oklahoma City went through all these injured teams. Well, okay, it's not their fault. They also had 68 regular season wins. It is not OKC's fault. The worst part about Tyrese Haliburton getting injured yesterday was Tyrese Haliburton getting injured and what it did to the Pacers. Full stop. That's the worst thing. The second worst thing is Oklahoma City's got to listen to this now. They don't deserve that. They won the title. Okay, Haliburton got hurt. It sucks. It happens. It's not their fault. They didn't injure him. There was no Nancy Kerrigan, Tanya Harding. That's not what happened. He got injured. Yes? Well, I thought you had something, Chris. Sorry.
No.
Saw the red light go on. Give Oklahoma City their flowers, dude. Or don't. You don't have to. But you should. They deserve it. They're the best team in the NBA. It was not an accident. Still don't believe me? Their defensive rating in the playoffs is minus 6.3. By the way, they led the league in defensive rating last year. That's the third greatest all time behind only the 2017 Warriors and the 2004 Pistons. By the way, minus 6.3, that's relative to the league. And part of the reason that they're just so damn scary is the future. It's the future. They're so set up for the future. And the reason they're set up for the future is because Sam Presti, to me, is the most valuable person in the league. You give me a draft and I can take any player in the league. Victor Wembanyama, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I'm saying that's great, but can I have Sam Presti? Because I'm not just going to get one player. I'm going to get an entire team. I'm going to get a culture. I'm going to get a team from top to bottom. I am so happy today to finally be able to give Sam Presti all the flowers he deserves. And anyone who listens knows I'm a huge honk for Sam Presti, and part of that is insane jealousy and envy as a Kings fan. Kings fans, I want you to listen to this quote from Sam Presti in 2021. It's quick. See if any of this applies as I unmute my Twitter here. All right. Here's Sam Presti in 2021.
As I said earlier, we can't be reactionary or emotional about it. We just have to keep chipping away every single day, knowing that over time we'll achieve our goals if we have the poise, the patience, and the willingness to adjust to the setbacks that we, will inevitably encounter. As they say, shortcuts cut long runs short, and we're going to do everything in our power not to allow that to happen. And when we do get back to the postseason, we want it to be an arrival and not an appearance. And arrival meaning that we can return, we can be there, we can take some chance or bad fortune and not have it sink us completely. We've seen the benefit of that, and during our earlier years, we don't want a position where we get there, but we have no way to get back. And that's the focus and the precision with which we're working. We understand the ecosystem of the NBA, I think, very, very well. We understand how that works.
That's Sam Presti as we go to break. That was after the Thunder finished second to last in the Western Conference, 22-50. COVID year. The year after, I should say. That's how you run a team. No shortcuts. We'll take a break. When we come back, more on the finals. Got a lot of fun facts for you as well. We'll do it next.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by California Sun.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA3 Weather Center. Welcome to your Monday. Getting out the door, a cool start thanks to a light breeze. We head through the afternoon with mostly sunny skies. Today, temperatures warmer. Expect daytime highs in the lower 90s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA3 News and the KCRA3 app.
Free wellness, red light therapy, infrared trim pod, cold plunge, halo therapy, massage, cryotherapy, sunbeds, and more. All services all week, all customers free during Wellness Week at California Sun Wellness Spas. No sign-up required, walk-ins welcome. Free at all California Sun Wellness Spa locations. This week only, CaliforniaSun.com.
How can you free your team from time-consuming office tasks? Amazon Business. Smart business buying tools enable buyers to find and purchase items fast so they can focus on strategy and growth. Free up your team and focus on your future. Learn more at AmazonBusiness.com.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Come check out Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room with the most variety of table games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. Plenty of well-lit parking available, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. And remember, Capital Casino has the best food, the best service, and the best action. 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com and please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Comcast Business, powering possibilities. Well, the way Nick Hertz has been going, it's easy to forget that just over a year ago, he was finishing his college career at Wake Forest. Back-to-back game-winning home runs, including the 447-foot walk-off shot against the Astros to begin the most recent homestand, the longest walk-off for the A's since they began keeping track of those things 10 years ago. Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. It's how retailers become seamlessly restocking, cyber-securing must-visit shops. And it's how healthcare offices become data-managing caregivers that we all depend on. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solutions, and Wi-Fi backup, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business.
The Giant Summer Sale is here. Get giant savings on our giant selection only at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? Save during the Giant Summer Sale and drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our number one priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda.
Go to FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
Waking you up with the best in local sports.
They just make it interesting, you know?
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sacktown Sports.
Welcome in. Jason on vacation. He'll be back Wednesday. 1-800-920-1140 is a phone line. 916-339-1140 if you want to text. Chat back to dominating today. We'll see how that goes. No coincidence, I have not seen Russ in the chat. I do see John F. in the chat, though. Hello, John. John, who on Friday, when he found out I was not here, said in the chat, and I quote, "Yay, yay,
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 yay, yay."
I think I didn't see that, John. I know how you feel. Did I take it personally? Yes. Yes, I did. One other thing. We'll talk more Durant later, but somebody put this together. Ouch. Now that Durant is on the Rockets, the Phoenix Suns have now traded Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, Jay Crowder, and 5 first-round draft picks for Jalen Green and Dylan Brooks. Ouch. Ouch.
I'm not saying that this can or would happen, but as a King fan and as the tank commander, what would you feel of the Kings somehow putting everything together to almost get rid of all of their big names and be able to get Damian Lillard, Tyrese Haliburton, and Jason Tatum right now with the idea of, okay, they'll all be back together at the same time. You'll be able to get draft picks and young players to work with right now. So the idea would be that they would be set up once all 3 of them are good to go.
Okay, well,
I'm not saying it can happen.
Right. Because I'm actually, the first thing I thought of is, okay, so could they trade their entire roster? And obviously you'd have to have some first rounders in there as well to make this happen. It'd have to be some sort of combo.
Yes.
Let's say in a weird world that could happen. You could have Haliburton, Tatum, and Lillard. Lillard's going to be the weakest of the 3 just because of age. Haliburton and Tatum are the real prizes. Is there an option where I can just do Tatum and Haliburton? And
no, you have to take.
I got to take all 3. Okay. I mean, let's see. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I'm guessing you're looking at somewhere between 150 and a 180 between those 3 players alone. So you're going to be very limited. It's role player time surrounding them. Haliburton's on a long-term deal, no problems there. Tatum's on a long-term deal. They're both locked up. I don't think Lillard's on that. I think they have 2 years left.
I think he's got a year and an option.
Yeah, I'd do that. Yeah, I'd absolutely do that. Back to reality. I'm showing on the the YouTube page right now. The Isaiah Hartenstein's son is the MVP, dude. This kid, if you did not see the stage where they're all accepting the trophy and everything, man, look, I know, hey, when it's time to go to bed, it's time to go to bed. This kid's looking 2, maybe 3 years old, maybe.
He got into that champagne.
Dude, how do you sleep through? I get it, but there's so much going on. And this kid, he's not wearing those big headphones. You can see his ears. There's no now look, here these days you have to be careful about everything. I would like to apologize in advance. Like, for example, I put this in the rundown and I wanted to talk about it because it's so cute. If somebody emails me tomorrow, I was like, yeah, good job, Davey. The kid's deaf. Like, I'm so sorry. No, that's the stuff I think about. Like, I don't know. I have no way of knowing. I'm assuming the kid can hear. Okay. By the way, even if the kid couldn't hear, there's vibrations.
You're being jostled around.
Jostled all over the place.
Your dad is doing a terrible job of keeping your head up.
Absolutely terrible job keeping the head up. By the way, Pistol Pete is very mad at you in the chat for bringing up Tyrese Haliburton. He's gone! Oh, and also before we get into the ins and outs of the segment here, I would like to say the following. Let me look at this because I of course, social media is very social media-ish. Never fails. I get it, but I also, some people I generally interact on social media as much as I can, and I recognize 2 of these guys at least. I had posted how upset I was with the whole Tyrese Haliburton thing. And by the whole Tyrese Haliburton thing, we'll talk about this at length in about an hour at 8:28 about him being injured. Look, all fun rivalry, you got traded, sports hate, whatever, however you feel. Like nobody should ever be injured. They should be outlawed. Hate injuries. Hate them. I don't care who it is. It could be Draymond Green. I don't care. Don't want him injured ever. Want to beat his ass fair and square. Not me, the team. I would not do well against Draymond, I don't think, physically. But, you never know. Bite his ankles. But I posted how heartbreaking it was that Tyrese went down. One response. You don't mess around with the Achilles, Dave. He now goes from Haliburton to half a Burton. They will lose this game and never be back to the finals, and we won the trade. Very next reply. Kings won the trade. Every fan base has stupid people in it. Or maybe not stupid people, but people that just say things on social media to be stupid. Please keep that entire take all the way away from me. If your reaction seeing this guy go down with a horrific injury as Kings won the trade, forget basketball, dude. You need counseling, like as a human. It's just, and I don't want it anywhere near our fan base because then it turns into, Kings fans were celebrating. Here's the screenshot. No, they weren't. 99.1009s after it of Kings fans, percentage-wise, felt horrible when Tyrese Haliburton went down.
I felt awful.
And you're one of his biggest haters.
Knowing that it's probably going to be 2027 until I could hate him again.
Even Chris. So if you're one of those people, just a couple of things. Number one, take a step back from the computer and really think it through. Number two, go talk to a professional. And number three, please do not identify yourself as a Kings fan. It's embarrassing. It's true. Anyone taking happiness or whatever out of Tyrese Haliburton getting injured is just not. You need to deal with stuff, dude. Speaking of Tyrese Haliburton, he finished the entire 24-25 season with the greatest clutch time shooting performance in the play-by-play era since 96-97. And it's not particularly close. You got Sam Cassell in second at 83.3. In effect, this is effective field goal percentage and clutch time. Tyrese Haliburton's at 1.0. Just I would look all silliness aside. And I'm not trying to be corny. Because I was pulling for OKC in this one, you know, but all the respect I had for Tyrese Haliburton, it shot up. And NBA fans should be thanking him along with his team, obviously, but think about how many memories Tyrese Haliburton gave us as NBA fans during these playoffs. And the fact that the Pacers were even that close, not just because of him, but he was the leader. And yeah, it hurts seeing him do that for another team. Yes, of course. But if we take the purple glasses off, he deserves nothing but our respect. You still hate him. I mean, when he comes back, I get it. But dude, what a freaking performance. Bill Simmons, and we got a break here. Bill Simmons said something yesterday that's been in my head. Because normally, a lot of times, he'll just fire off the dumbest takes. But Chris, he said something as we go to break here. He said, the Oklahoma City Thunder are not the team I'm going to remember from these finals 10, 20 years from now. And I don't think that's true. But I've been struggling with, is that as stupid a take as I initially thought? Because I think as I was pulling for the Thunder. They won. But I actually think the Pacers were the more lovable team if you don't have a dog in the fight. What a series. We'll take a break. When we come back, we got more on this as to why SGA is getting so much hate. We'll talk about the decision from Tyrese Haliburton at 8:28. I talked to 4 current and former NBA players yesterday, all during halftime, to ask them a couple of questions specifically regarding Haliburton, so it wouldn't be just my dumb ass up here saying what I think. I want to know what players thought. I'll tell you what they said. And then coming up at 9 o'clock, somebody on the chat line says, hey, what's going on with Seattle? I'll tell you what's going on with Seattle and the NBA coming up at 9 a.m.
The Sacktown Sports.
We're right back after this.
Newsletter right to your email. Get your latest on the Sacramento Kings, athletics, and Republic FC with the Sacktown Sports 1140 newsletter. Visit sacktownsports.com to join.
You gotta dip your chicken strips. Hey, this is Kiani.
And this is Tabitha.
And a little thing we love about Chick-fil-A chicken strips
is all the different sauces we can dip them in. I like to line up all my favorite sauces so that in every bite, I have a different flavor. Then with the tenderness of the chicken, the juiciness of it, it's all there.
And for me, I like to mix my sauces so I get a little tang and I get a little sweetness all in one bite.
That's what makes it for me. Like, that's what does it for me.
That's what I'm saying.
It's the summer of Chick-fil-A chicken strips and sauces. Order now on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
There's nothing like when you get that part from eBay and it just fits. Yeah, the first time. So you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it? eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
What's going on? We're talking to Chad Hoblet, Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Woodland. Chad, tell me what's happening for the Employee Pricing Plus sales event.
Anyone can get you employee pricing, but at Hoblet, it's all about the plus. You can only get here. Save up to $16,000 off MSRP on new 2025 Ram 1500 Crew Cabs. One of the many reasons we are the #1 Ram truck dealer in California.
But why do you think Hoblet's consistently California's #1 Ram truck dealer?
You won't find a better price on the Ram truck you need. And with 500 new new Rams available, no one has a better selection. Plus, being a fifth-generation family-owned dealer, you get the big city selection and savings with the small town service, and we have 7 Walter P. Chrysler Service Awards to prove it.
Search, select, and save through their whole inventory at HoblettDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
16,000 total net savings on select new 2025 Ram 1500 Laramie after 6,000 factory rebates and 10,000 dealer discounts. Rebates include 2,500 select inventory bonus cash, 500 on the job upfit, must show eligible upfit. Employee pricing factored into dealer discount. 5% savings. Sample VIN 711632. See dealer for details.
Baseball, fireworks, and patriotic fun. Join the Sacramento Rivercats on July 3rd for our Independence Eve extravaganza presented by Budweiser. It's a summer tradition packed with fireworks, baseball, friends, family, and unforgettable memories. Bring the whole crew and enjoy America's pastime under the lights, followed by a post-game fireworks show lighting up the Sacramento skyline. It's the perfect way to kick off Independence festivities. Lock in your tickets for July 3rd at rivercats.com.
Get ready for a night out with Jordan Davis. It's Country in the Park 2, Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo. Along with the special guests Mitchell Tenpenny, Low Cash, Vincent Mason, and Avriana. Make it a family day out with food trucks, games, dancing, and more. Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo with Hoblet Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram Center. Tickets and info at CITPFest.com.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
I had the chance to interview former professional golfer and broadcaster Gary McCord a few years back. He hadn't yet enraged the Green Jackets with his television comments about their revered Georgia golf course. He was welcoming and above all humorous, which is why I recently picked up a copy of his book, Golf for Dummies by Gary McCord, a man possessed by golf's magical allure. This 5th edition will help new golfers learn the basics of the game and bring them, as he writes, from the darkness to the light. The book discusses types of clubs, types of courses, how to hit the ball, and how to keep score. The intent is to help you get the ball to the hole in fewer tries and with better form. You'll even find some basic exercises to get you into golf shape. It's a fun read and will help you get over some of the game's intimidation while getting you ready to visit the golf course on your own or with some friends. I always recommend a good PGA professional to guide you along the way, but Golf for Dummies is a fun way to approach a fun game. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
The only place in the morning to get your sports fix.
Live and local.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
I'm going to run through some things here. Just some weird facts, factoids. Be a little all over the place here. Pascal Siakam played in the games that obviously Tyrese Haliburton likely tore his Achilles. He also played in the game that Kevin Durant tore his Achilles, played in the game that Dame Lillard tore his Achilles, played in the game that Klay Thompson tore his ACL. There's no insinuation there, by the way. It's not like he had anything to do with it, but just, yeah.
I don't know. You see those eyes in Game 6?
Holy crap, I did. Oh, my God. What was that? If for those of you who don't know what Chris is talking about, it's like a pregame huddle or is a huddle or something, whatever. The camera goes on him, and and I don't know if it was just an angle thing or what, but he looked up and his eyes were wide open, but like no pupils, like all whites of the eyes.
His eyes are rolled back.
Yes, like he was possessed or something. Holy crap! Make a poster.
Did you happen to see what he said about it?
No,
he was just like someone showed it to me. He's like, "Oh."
I like him, dude. I like him. Also, because of whatever, this has been making the rounds again, just to clear stuff up. Yes, Pascal Siakam would have re-signed with the Kings. There's the whole he wouldn't have come here. He wouldn't come here, so there's no point in talking. No, he would have come here. Kings didn't want to give him a max. Pacers wanted to give him a max. Pacers committed to it. Kings wouldn't commit to it. Thus, no trade. That's what happened. So, if you say Pascal Siakam wouldn't have re-signed in Sacramento, so you can't make the trade, well, you're technically correct. But the context is he wouldn't have re-signed in Sacramento unless they'd have given him the max, which Indiana did, and,
And they couldn't give him the max because they're going to have to pay De'Aaron Fox the max.
As a guy who spent a lot of time defending why De'Aaron wanted out of Sacramento, I am also fully aware of the amount of things that indirectly or directly the presence of De'Aaron Fox cost this team. Anyway, Adam Silver crowned the 9th different NBA champion in his 12 postseasons as NBA commissioner. 7th new champion in 7 seasons. For context, Silver 9 in 12, David Stern 8 in 30. The funny thing is, I think most people would say the David Stern run was better and more entertaining. Again, people love to say they don't like them, but they love dynasties. They love dominance. They love Mike Tyson. They love Tiger Woods. They love the Lakers and the Spurs and the Celtics. People love dynasties.
I don't know if that's true.
That people love dynasties?
I think people like to root against dynasties.
100%. And if you want to frame it that way, it's accurate. Dynasties garner more interest.
Yes.
There you go.
If the Yankees are winning, people are going to be watching so that they can see the Yankees lose.
That's exactly correct. By the way, the Oklahoma City Thunder winning the NBA championship wasn't crazy enough as the youngest team to do it since the Blazers in the 70s, with all their guys locked up for at least another couple years. They also get lottery pick Nikola Topic, who fell because of an injury. They get him next season. Oh, by the way, over the next 5 drafts, now I had to. That can't be right. No way. Right? Like even me asking. Here's where I almost said this, Chris. Because it's from StatMuse, which is, a verified account that doesn't really screw around. They're screwing around. So never mind. Because I almost said the Oklahoma City. I just marked it and moved on. I almost said the Oklahoma City. This is what StatMuse says. Reminder, the NBA champions have 104 first-round picks over the next 5 years. Yeah, that's not true. Then I actually read it and went, yeah, that's not true. Only 4 players have won MVP, the scoring title, and an NBA championship in the same season. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in 71, Michael Jordan 3 times, O'Neal in 2000, and SGA. So when you say this title run has been Jordan-esque, you can say that accurately. Here's some real stuff for the Oklahoma City Thunder. They have picks at number 15, 24, and 44 coming up in this week's draft. Every single player is under contract next year. They have up to 4 first-rounders next year. If the Sixers falls out of the top 5, they get the Sixers pick. If the Jazz pick falls out of the top 9, they get that, and they get the 2 most favorable between their own pick, Houston's pick, and the Clippers pick. SGA is 26, Jalen Williams 23, Chet Holmgren 22. They're the youngest champion, as I said, since the 77 Blazers, and they have more assets than any team in the NBA to keep tweaking that roster. I mean, we said, look, are they going to repeat? Odds are against it. Just the odds are against it. But they might be more set up than any NBA champion has ever been in history. They certainly have the most, the largest war chest of any team. We can now officially say, as if it wasn't official before, that the Paul George Clippers Thunder trade is the worst trade in NBA history. This is the Herschel Walker trade of the NBA. Old heads will know what I mean. The Clippers got Paul George from the Thunder in exchange for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Danilo Gallinari. The Clippers 22, 24, and 26 first-round picks. The Heat's 2021 first-round pick. Miami's 2023 first-round pick. And pick swaps with the Clippers in 23 and 25. It's ridiculous. More stats for you. Chet Holmgren, 5 blocks to go with 18 points and 8 boards in Game 7. That's the most blocks ever in a Game 7 of the finals. Oh, can I pause real quick because I'm scrolling up here? I won't. There's no reason to play audio here, but I almost forgot yesterday. I think it was yesterday. Domantas Sabonis, along with his son Tiger. By the way, congratulations to the Sabonises welcoming in another child earlier this month. Congratulations to them. Domantas Sabonis threw out the first pitch at the A's game. He's in an A's jersey. He's out there with his little boy on the mound, and he looks into the catcher. He whines, and he what was that, Chris?
Are we sure he's left-handed?
That, you know what? I'll tell you what. That is a great. I will tell you this right now. I'm right-handed. I could throw a better first pitch left-handed. It was like this weird lob that bounced about 3 feet to the left or right if you're from his angle of the plate. Not a good. It just shows you, man. Throwing a baseball is harder than you think. If you grew up doing it, fine.
I'm guessing his dad didn't play catch.
I would guarantee you his dad did not. That wasn't the deal. He's a world-class athlete, but throwing a baseball, if you didn't grow up doing it, oof. We'll take a break. When we come back, why don't we like new people? Why don't we like new people? Why don't we like new stars? Why do we hate on them? Coming up at 8:28, I'll tell you what. 4 different NBA players told me yesterday when it comes to Tyrese Haliburton's decision to play, both from a player standpoint and a coaching standpoint. And we've got some expansion conversation coming up at 9 a.m. as well, along with everything else. We'll take a break. Earl said, has Dave ever stood on a regulation-sized pitching mound? Hey, not only did I have an unassisted triple play, but little bit of a pitching background, Earl. Actual athlete here, not just some radio guy. Actual athlete. We'll take a break. We'll come back with all that next.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and, in rare cases, fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Whoa. More fiber?
What?
Down here, buddy. It's me, your spoon. Constipation with belly pain still coming back?
Yeah.
Talk to your doctor. It could be irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C, but Linzess could help you get ahead of it.
Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop Stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave here for American Energy, and oh my goodness, I'm born and raised here. I know it gets hot, but my goodness, we're already seeing 100-degree days. Listen to me. You do not want your system to conk out in the middle of June or July or August with one of those big 100-degree stretches. You want to make sure you're good all summer long. And my friends at American Energy Heating and Air can do that with a $24.50 tune-up right now. That's half price. And if you need a new system, $3,500 off, up to $3,500 off in rebates for qualified systems. They've been around since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. Call them right now, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990. Jingle Singers, take it away.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacramento's official home of the 49ers.
San Francisco.
Sacktown Sports, 1140. The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sacktown Sports.
"24 games 3 seasons ago." I don't think "like" is the right word. I don't know what the right word is, but I'm just going to say "like." I really like in like when you saw TJ McConnell, the camera was following him, and he sees his mother in the tunnel, and he just kind of collapses in her arms, hugging her and crying, and the camera, mom said, "Stop filming." And I don't know why when I see athletes emotional about losing, it's just something that's so, I don't know if it's relatable, but just seeing how much I think it's the same thing where we as fans get a little oversensitive after a loss when players are smiling and hugging the other team. But that's the opposite. Like, just look, you're still getting paid. You're a multi-millionaire. Imagine the last day of work for you until September. You now have the rest of June, all of July, all of August, and part of September off. I understand there's workouts and team, I get it. But you now have like 3-4 months off, of which you're getting paid the same. Imagine today was your last day of work. For 4 months, you're getting paid millions of dollars. You're a celebrity. You get all the free stuff, blah, blah, blah. Next week, you're going to be on some beach somewhere, staying at the best place, eating the best food, not having to worry about getting the value card for you and your kids to experience things. Money isn't an object. You live a blessed life. You're in your 20s, maybe your 30s. And the bell just rang, the clock just hit 5 p.m., whatever it may be. And you're crying because you are so upset that it's over. Like, sports is just such a different animal. It does not compare to real life. We would all be jumping out, up and down. We wouldn't be able to concentrate that day. We'd be jumping up and down on our way out the door. See you later. I'm off. Bags are packed. Leaving tonight, baby. See you in a few months. Don't try to call. Hi, you've reached Carmichael Dave. I'm not here. Don't bother leaving a message. I won't check it. So when I see athletes that upset, it's about legacy. It's about what got them there. It's really cool to see that extra thing that pushes them. Good for them. And TJ McConnell, by the way, was such a stud yesterday. Holy crap. They had no answer in that stretch. They had no answer. TJ McConnell alone had me thinking at one point, uh-oh. Look out. Got some more stuff for you. We also got the first player in NBA history to win an NBA title, get a ring, get a bonus check, all of that stuff without playing a single game in the NBA. And that would be the aforementioned Nikola Topic, the rookie for the Thunder. I also want to comment, too, on the coverage. I'm so glad NBC is getting the bulk of the coverage next year. I don't know what happened. And normally, like, especially being in the business somewhat, obviously not at that level, like I appreciate and have a level of respect for fellow media members that have made it to the big time. Like, you see Stephen A. Smith sign that contract. Now, regardless of how you feel about Stephen A. Smith, he busts his ass. He works his tail off. He's gone from being a newspaper writer in Philadelphia to what he is today, arguably the biggest sports media personality in the world, certainly top 2, top 3. What Pat McAfee has done, going from a punter in the NFL to what he has now. Just a juggernaut. Even a guy like Skip Bayless, another newspaper writer. I cannot stand Skip Bayless. But I have to acknowledge that a lot of people watch him, read him, whatever, because if they don't, he's not there getting paid what he's getting paid. Say what you want. Oh, well, I don't watch him. Well, they just watch him because they hate him. Okay, whatever. Great. Still there. Checks still cash. Still one of the biggest, most recognizable sports personalities, media personalities in America. But the ESPN coverage, dude, just sucks. It's like they knew they were done. They knew they were done, and they just gave up. These camera shots of Stephen A. walking into the building like a player. I mean, those just designed to get hate. If they are, well done. If they are, great. It worked. Awesome. And these fake, goofy arguments, hating on players. It's like they hate the game in some aspects. Hating players and the game. The self-righteousness, like they're bigger than it just, I'm so tired of it, dude. And I don't think I'm alone. Like, I get it. You have to be a personality. You have to have a hot take. You have to, your job is to create passion. I get it. But at what cost? Now, I'll take Stephen A. Smith over Skip Bayless any day of the week. Don't get me wrong. But I think it's just gotten to the point where, like, I love the segments with his nephew. I loved his daughter showing up. It's where you actually humanize the guy. He's incredibly connected. There's a lot of redeeming qualities about Stephen A. Smith. Please don't get me wrong. I can't do with. I don't even care that he was playing solitaire. I really don't. That's stupid. Who cares? It's just the rest of it, dude. It's just so ESPN dropped the ball so bad in these finals. It's gross. They just did as a whole.
Or were you talking about if it was the last day at work, so you don't really care or anything like that?
Yeah, you're exactly right. On the other hand, I think they all had senioritis.
It's not like it's coming back anytime soon.
And the whole, just the way the whole thing was. Oh, there's no it's like Sam said. Just get it out in social media, and the commissioner will respond. The Larry O'Brien Trophy not on the court. The NBA Finals, calligraphy. But just really the lead-in. Now, I'm going to go full on old head here, okay? Full on. I admit it 100%. But I'm going to take you back to June 21st, 1988. Game 7, NBA Finals.
I was 3 years old.
Attaboy. Lakers, Pistons. Not Lakers, Celtics even. Lakers, Pistons. Brent Musburger, Pat O'Brien. You want to know how to create drama. Listen to this. Never mind the graphics. If you're watching.
In Game 6, the Los Angeles Lakers took the floor with the defense of their title hanging in the balance. A battered Isaiah Thomas performed heroically for Detroit. But it wasn't enough. The Lakers escaped with a victory, forcing tonight's dramatic 7th game showdown.
Could have done that with Haliburton being banged up.
This has been a series of startling contrasts, from the friendships off the court to the fierce hostility on it. We've witnessed the youthful exuberance of the challengers and the poise of the champions. There's been hardship and pain, but not enough to overcome sheer guts and determination.
Hey, is there a little bit of that, see? I mean, are we going back that far? Is there a tiny little bit of Lakers, see? In the voice that I'm picking up?
Oh, it's Pat O'Brien.
Yeah,
I mean, he's always sound like that, right?
Yeah.
Been hardship and pain, but not enough to overcome sheer guts and determination. These teams have battled to a standstill, and tonight their destiny will be determined. It's just a question of who can endure this final hurdle.
So great.
The Lakers hope to repeat history tonight, while the Pistons hope to make some. A championship is at stake, and only one team's prayers will be answered.
Now watch, they set the scene. Let's go live.
It is June 21st. We have reached the first full day of summer, and a tough 8-month war is about to come to an end inside the Los Angeles Forum. The NBA basketball season comes down to a one-game war. And this crowd here tonight has not been a late arriving one, as CBS welcomes you to the final game of the 1988 NBA Finals. It's Game 7. The Detroit Pistons, champions of the East, against the Los Angeles Lakers, the best of the West. High above the floor here at the Forum, last year's championship banner. The Lakers tonight trying to become the first team to win back-to-back championships since the Boston Celtics did on this very same floor back in 1969. Don Nelson with the field goal that gave the Celtics their final margin of victory that night. And for the legendary Bill Russell, it was to be his last basketball game. And now tonight, the greatest winner of all time has joined us to see if the Lakers can repeat. Good evening, everybody, and welcome. I'm Brent Musburger. So tonight, when we end, the 7th game comes to a conclusion, either the Pistons or the Lakers will receive the Larry O'Brien Trophy.
And they finally go to Musburger on the set, which is at the Forum, and he's doing the show, the lead in with the Larry O'Brien Trophy right to his right. Like, don't overthink it. Obviously, and I hope NBC does this, man. And I kind of think they will. Sometimes to go forward, you got to go back. Like, ultimately, the sport is going to take care of itself, and the players and the games will take care of themselves. This was a wonderfully entertaining series. It was not just 7 games. There were blowouts. There were close games. There were last-second comebacks. There was drama. 2 small markets. Crowning your 12th champion in 12 years. The reigning MVP. The young upstart point guard. There's so much drama, and ultimately a network broadcast or any broadcast of a game, you have to think of, let's go with food, shockingly. Let's go with food as an analogy here, or metaphor, whatever it is. If the meal is the sport itself, the meat and potatoes is basketball. The broadcast is the seasoning. It's the seasoning. It's the salt. It's the pepper. It's the spices. You ultimately, you have to have the food. Don't get me wrong, but the right seasoning elevates it. It elevates it to a different level. You accentuate the drama. Just like they say, well, sometimes this spice or that seasoning will bring out the flavor of the beef. It's the same exact idea. And somewhere along the way, the ESPN decided that the personalities they had were more important than the personalities on the floor. The amount of human interest pieces we should have seen. Oklahoma City does their post-game interviews with all the other players gather around Shai Gilgeous or Jalen. What's his face? Was it Jalen Brown? Who the hell am I thinking of? The other guy in the Thunder. Jalen Williams. Thank you. God, like Jalen Green? No. Jalen Brown? No. You're Tyrese Haliburton and his dad. Tyrese Haliburton in the trade. Pascal Siakam getting out of Toronto. Rick Carlisle going for another one since Dallas beat the Heatles. What are the different? Like you have a human interest story every single time. They did a couple. Don't get me wrong. But then you set it up. You set it up. The beauty of those CBS, and by the way, NBA and NBC, I don't think was as good as CBS at this, but they were very good. And that might just be a generational thing. You set it up. You accentuate. You elevate the drama. They just didn't do that. It was a bunch of ex-players and over-the-top personalities yelling at each other, hating on this. He shouldn't do this. They shouldn't do that. This is bad. He's got to do this. What the hell did stupid Skip Bayless say the other day? Or it was yesterday, excuse me. They're just so concerned with these stupid hot takes. And I don't understand, unless it's just people just wanting to hate. I do not understand why people still follow them. Here we go. Here's Skip Bayless. Now, granted, this was before Haliburton's injury. The Achilles. Quote, the Pacers brilliantly took the big game pressure off Haliburton, who routinely no-shows, by planting the, quote, injury excuse that the media swallowed whole. See, the implication there is that they were playing up this injury, and then he goes out and he just shreds his Achilles. Like, that's such an asinine take to begin with. It's just such a stupid take. But hey, Skip Bayless, who, by the way, currently has 3.1 million followers on Twitter. What are we doing, dude? It actually worries me more about society than Skip Bayless. That's the problem. Good morning, Chris. Good morning.
Hey, morning, fellas. How y'all doing today?
Good, man. How are you?
Good. I just wanted to comment on this whole commentary thing. I think, I know going back to NBA on NBC is going to be great. Mm-hmm. But do you guys remember when Bob Costas would, narrate a poem before each game, and they'd have the drama music?
Yes.
And all the highlights?
Yes.
And then he'd say, Game 7 tonight.
Yes.
And it just that was the best to me. That was my childhood. I just remember that. I don't know if he still comments. I don't even know if he's still alive. But, I just remember always Bob Costas and his little poetry thing, and that was awesome to me. So just thought I'd chime in with that.
No, appreciate that. Yes. And by the way, I love Bob Costas. Bob would definitely do his thing.
Bob takes himself very seriously.
Bob takes himself incredibly.
He's a great commentator.
100%.
But at the same time.
Yes. Yeah, Bob. Again, I'm a huge fan of Bob Costas, broadcaster. And by the way, I've seen some clips of him in regular chill out moments. He's actually a really funny dude. But
then like he'll also throw in that like, yeah, I was probably a little bit too serious about that.
Just do better, NBC, please. And if I'm the NBA, I'm also stepping in, guys. Enough of this cattiness. Enough of this hatred. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Hey, guys, that cattiness isn't a girl thing. Like anybody can be catty, right?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't want to make sure I wasn't stepping in something there. Yeah, just stop with it. Stop with this bickering garbage. I understand the need for old heads to be like, well, back in my day, but when you got old heads saying, well, they couldn't have hung with us. We're back in the day, we tore our Achilles, we just ripped one out from one of our friends' ankles and slapped. Okay, that's as stupid as when somebody says, yeah, but you also played with milkmen and dude that couldn't even get on the floor for a G League team today. Like they're different eras. It's just dumb. How about being a fan of the game? How about being in awe and amazement at how insanely talented these players are? How it's almost to the point where when they miss a shot, it's a surprise. The NBA has flaws. Of course it does. It's also, you're dealing with the most talented players to ever play. Ever. The NBA, I'm not saying, oh, Michael Jordan. No, I'm saying top to bottom. First guy to 14th guy is more athletic, faster, jumps higher, and is stronger than any time in the history of the league. Enjoy the defenses. The offenses are more complicated than ever. The game itself. And by the way, here's my reality of the situation. I think you can take probably the top 4, 5, or 6 if you could pull them out of time. And you pick the year of the Chicago Bulls. I don't care which year you take, because I assume that's the team you'd take. And you put them up against the Pacers, the Thunder, a healthy Celtics. I'd probably take 4 teams in the NBA, maybe the Knicks, that would beat the Bulls. I'm not hating on Michael Jordan or Scottie Pippen. I love those teams. I'm saying that's what human evolution does. Today's players are bigger, they're faster, they're stronger, they're more skilled. I mean, absolutely no disrespect to former King Bill Wennington. Just for an example, Bill Wennington. Hell, Bill Cartwright, who was a stud. You think you're plucking those guys out of the 90s and putting them in today's game and they're starting? And by the way, those were my teams. That's my era. Just celebrate the game. ESPN dropped the ball, dude. They absolutely did. They were gifted a series filled with drama. But you know what happened? It wasn't the Lakers. It wasn't the Celtics. It wasn't LeBron's legacy. It wasn't Luka Doncic. Even the Knicks. It's like ESPN went, okay, it's the Pacers, the Thunder. So these media markets, nobody cares. Well, we don't really care. We've been spending all year talking about what does this mean for LeBron's legacy? Well, okay. Steph Curry. How much more time does he have? It's like they put all their eggs into those baskets, and when none of those eggs made it to the finals, they're like, oh, okay, well, now we have to have a take. SGA is a free throw merchant. Tyrese Haliburton's overrated, according to his, colleagues. It is lazy. It's lazy, and they should be ashamed of themselves. ESPN, the worldwide leader, absolutely, positively dropped the ball. We'll take a break. When we come back, talked to 4 different NBA players yesterday during halftime of the finals. What would they have done in Tyrese Haliburton's position? A lot of Monday morning quarterbacks today. We'll talk about what they all said next.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Jane has 150,000 miles on her truck, and she's proud of that. Jane's secret, AutoZone, where friendly AutoZoners help her find the right parts. Jane's brother Josh only cares that his car starts and goes, but when it doesn't, he also goes to AutoZone, where friendly AutoZoners help with free services. No hassles, just help. Everything you need, nothing you don't. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Restrictions apply.
If you need to hire, you know it takes time. Well, what if you could meet with qualified candidates the very next day? Now you can with Zip Intro from ZipRecruiter. You simply pick a time and it does all the work of finding and scheduling qualified candidates for you. Then you choose who you want to talk to and meet with great people on back-to-back video calls as soon as the next day.
Try Zip Intro for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. Zip Intro. Post jobs today. Talk to qualified candidates tomorrow.
Get to your local Toyota dealer because the 4th of July sales event is on. Nothing says summer like the open road. And with these deals, that road trip starts now, not later. Get a low-cost lease on the all-hybrid 51 MPG 2025 Camry or Dynamic RAV4. And meet the all-new 2025 4Runner. The hottest deals of the summer won't last long. Pack your Toyota with your favorite people and get ready to roll. Toyota, let's go places. Offers available through TFS to buyers with premium rated credit at 6/30/25.
Around here, the summer can smack you silly, especially if your AC is not functioning at a high level. Whitey Gleason here. I had the opposite problem over the winter. System went down. It was panic time, but Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating saved the day. Let them save you from unnecessary summer misery. Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating, reliable, trustworthy. They do great work. They've won awards for their service. Check the reviews at leesair.com. Find out about their $99 HVAC tune-up service. Save your summer now. Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating on the web at leesair.com. License number 635355.
Looking for family fun, thrilling baseball, and unforgettable memories? Come out to Sutter Health Park and catch the Sacramento River Cats in action. Great games, great food, and great times await. Get your tickets now at rivercats.com.
Hagen Oaks wants to be your go-to total golf game fitter. Try the TrackMan experience, the very best technology to fit your metalwoods and irons. The new cutting-edge putter fitting studio with its $30,000 worth of technology is ready for your fitting. Hagen Oaks will help you find the best putter for your game. Hagen Oaks offers more technology, more choices, and more service. Schedule your fitting at the Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio by calling 916-808-2531, 808-2531 for more.
Carmichael Dave.
He has very good sources, and he just kind of tells it as it is and gets to the point.
Jason Ross.
He has a lot of pretty smart things to say.
He's good at what he does.
On Sacktown Sports.
All right, Chris, do me a favor, would you? I hate doing this. Chris, mustache. I really hate doing this, but Zebra as well. Give them all 5-minute timeouts, please. Guys, chat's getting a little off. You know. Gotta chill. Yes, I'm censoring you 100%. I'm 100% censoring you. next. Welcome back. Let me see here. I want to make one more point, and then we're going to move on to Tyrese Haliburton. The point I was trying to make about the stupid ESPN coverage. Just imagine with everything that's going on, you're getting ready for a Game 7. There's all this drama, and this is what you're listening to.
Tonight, knock down a few threes.
Can I say this on national television?
Yeah, sure.
From a basketball standpoint, I'm not disagreeing with Perk per se, but he's really annoying me today. And I'm going to tell you why Perkins is annoying me. Because this is a man that is a champion. You're talking about a Game 7, and he's talking about a Game 7 like, you know what? Hey, Cat's just going to step up. No, somebody's palms are going to get sweaty. Backside going to get tight. Somebody. It always happens in a Game 7. Now, I don't know who's going to do it, but he acts like everybody that's been producing all year long, come Game 7, it's no different. It's no different. It's very, very, very different. And he knows this because he's a champion. And not only that, when they lost in Game 7, you were injured. You didn't play. Had you played, you might have beat the Lakers. It's a big deal. It's a Game 7.
Can I defend your honor here? I don't think we got time. Just because you yell something doesn't mean it's true.
That's what I'm just finished saying that.
That's what I'm going to say.
Malika, he just finished saying that. Bob Myers just finished saying it's a Game 7.
I know.
Tonight.
By the way, that's Stephen A. Smith yelling at Kendrick Perkins, who played in the game, played on a team that played in Game 7.
You lying drama.
And God bless Bob Myers. What a great line. Just because you yell something doesn't mean it's true. Like, Stephen A's got a right to his opinion. I get it, but my God, dude. Anyways.
It's his Game 7 too.
That's probably what, he's probably in the mirror that morning. Like, all right, we really got to have it together. Got to have some hot takes. They're toning in for you. Screw the game. What is Stephen A. going to say? I don't want to sound like I'm a Stephen A. hater again. I'm not. Truly, I'm not. But I don't know. Tyrese Haliburton almost certainly shredded his Achilles yesterday. I'm sure an MRI today or tomorrow will confirm that. You can see it pop. We've seen these way too many times. At this point, it would be a very welcome but massive shock if it was not a torn Achilles. And if he was not out for the season, next season. So as soon as that happens, of course, here we go. Everyone's got these takes. I'm not going to call them crazy, but hot takes. Haliburton shouldn't have risked it. You can't. You're too young. You can't risk it. Or I think the prevailing one, Rick Carlisle and the medical staff, they should not have let him go out there. Shouldn't have let it happen. You got to protect the players from themselves. I even saw one local journalist who I love. I'm not going to say who it is, just out of respect for Matt George. But I saw him. I love you, Matt. What did he say? It was something about like, well, concussions. Let's just get rid of concussion protocol then. Yeah, I mean, little apples and oranges, dude. Concussions and CTE, little different. Look, I saw that, and honestly, I thought, Dave, it would be very hypocritical for you to go on the air tomorrow, because my instant thought was, all of you guys saying this, you're not professional athletes. You've never been in this situation. You have no idea what it's like to walk in their shoes. It doesn't mean you don't have a valid opinion. But in this case, maybe you're missing a little bit of the extra context. It's incredibly easy to sit there on a Monday after he shredded his Achilles and go back and say, well, he shouldn't have played. Well, yeah. Knowing what they know now, I don't think they would have played Tyrese Haliburton.
But if you looked at it at a vacuum, you didn't see one game this season. You turn on Game 7, you're watching, and you said, hey, one of these guys is going to injure himself for the rest of the game. Like, would Tyrese be one of them? He was tearing them apart early on.
Tyrese Haliburton, as funny as this sounds, Tyrese Haliburton led in Game 7. He led the Pacers in three-pointers. He was 3 of 4 in 7 minutes, including one from the bottom edge of the logo. I mean, he came out firing. 9 points in 7 minutes, 3 of 4 from beyond the arc. Came out firing. As a matter of fact, he led both teams in three-pointers. Excuse me. That's insane. In 7 minutes, he made more threes than anyone on either the Thunder or the Pacers. So anyways, I thought it would be hypocritical for me to come on and poo-poo those takes without taking a moment, which, by the way, I think more people in this business should do. You have access through your job to these people. Ask them. So 4 players I talked to at halftime. I won't tell you who they were because I told them I wasn't going to say, but I will say one is, well, all 4 you would know, obviously. One, a very high-level player. 2 retired, 2 active. I talked to player 1. I asked them 3 questions. Number 1, if you're in the training room, Game 7's coming up, it's before Game 7, night of Game 6, whatever, Game 7 morning, whatever it may be, and the trainers say, hey, it's basically a coin flip, dude. You played with this injury in Game 6. Maybe you got lucky. I cannot guarantee anything. You could go out there because of the strain on your calf, and you could tear your Achilles and be out for a year. Just giving you a warning. It's a coin flip. It's a 50-50, and you already played 1 game on it. So my question was, would you play at Game 7? He said, without a doubt. Wouldn't even hesitate. Don't care. You don't know if you're going to ever be back. This could be your one shot. It's also a chance. Jordan had the flu game. Willis Reed. It's your opportunity at Legacy. You could not drag me off that floor. Or you would literally have to drag me off the floor. Second question. If you are coaching this player, same situation, Game 7, 50-50 shot, trainers tell you, would you tell the player he can't play? Answer. I would advise the player not to play. I would explain that he has a long career in front of him. I would tell him I don't want him to play. I would explain to him that I would, in the press, say that it was my decision and the player begged me. I would take all the heat to try to get the player not to play. But in the end, I can all but guarantee you, especially at a star level, maybe not every player, but that player in their mind would not be able to look their teammates in the eye if they didn't at least give it a shot. And he said, if the player ultimately looked at me and said, Coach, I'm playing, it would basically take a GM or an owner stepping in and literally saying, do not play this player, for the player to not play. So answer 1, as a player, yeah, I'd play. Answer 2, as a coach, I'd let him play. And then my third question was, hey, Lillard, Tatum, Haliburton, all in the playoffs, what's going on? Didn't know. had no good answer. I had some thoughts, but no real good answer. So that was player 1. I'm going to save you because we're out of time. I'm going to save you player 2, player 3, and player 4's full comments because they were identical. I mean, I honestly could probably, if I had recorded the phone calls, I could probably play all 4 answers over each other, and with the exception of an occasional or a then or an and or a but, they're the exact same answer. In short, if I was in that situation as a player, I don't care if it was an 80% chance. I'm going out and I'm leaving it out there. I might never be back. This is the one chance. If I wouldn't be able to look my teammates in the eye. I would be out there 100%. If I was a coach, I'd advise the player to not play, or at least give them their options. But ultimately, if the player looked at me and said, I'm going in, coach, then I'm not standing in their way. I'm not taking that dream away from them. And then various answers as to why there's so much Achilles stuff going on, but nothing. Nobody knows the answer. Is it overwork? Is it the length of the season? Is it too much wear and tear? Well, it's been 82 games in this for a long time. Is it workouts? Is it different style of play? Are these athletes so damn athletic that they have weak Achilles because of the way they jump so high? Like, nobody knows.
I think something could also be medically, you're able to get the guys on the court that maybe in the past you wouldn't have been, so that their body just can't take any more of it to where it just fails on them.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But, I mean, who knows?
Everybody's trying to guess the players. We'll take a break. I'll tell you one of them.
You didn't say basketball players.
That's a good point. I'll tell you one of them was named Joe.
Joe who?
Joe Mama. We'll be right back. Who's hot, who's not? While Chris recovers from that burn right after this.
The Sacktown Sports 1140 newsletter. Right to your email. Get your latest on the Sacramento Kings, UC Davis, and Sac State with the Sacktown Sports 1140 newsletter. Visit SacktownSports.com to join.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Woodland. Chad, what's going on for the Employee Pricing Plus sales event?
Anyone can get you employee pricing, but at Hoblet, it's all about the plus that you can only get here. Save up to $13,000 off MSRP on brand new 2025 heavy-duty Ram 2500 and 3500s. We have over 500 new Rams available, so your new Ram is waiting at Hoblet.
Well, how do you like the new heavy-duty trucks?
I love it. I took the new Ram 2500 with the high-output diesel and 8-speed transmission to Tahoe last weekend, and I have to say, I've not had this much fun driving a new truck in a long time. I've been driving diesels for 25 years, and this is easily the most fun, most powerful, and most responsive truck so far.
Search, select, and save through their whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
13,000 total net savings on select new 2025 Ram 2500 and 3500 Laramie after 4,000 factory rebates and 9,000 dealer discounts. Rebates may include 2,500 select inventory bonus cash and $500 on the job upfit. Must show eligible upfit. Aid to this net savings. Sample VIN 525043. See dealer for details.
Aloha! Dreaming of sandy beaches and ocean breezes? JTV's Tropical Treasure Sweepstakes could make that dream come true. Enter for your chance to win a fabulous Hawaiian getaway for two with luxury accommodations, airfare, and spending cash. Plus, just for entering, get $30 off your next qualifying JTV purchase of at least $99 when you opt in for emails. Don't miss out. Visit jtv.com/sweeps and enter by August 3rd. JTV, where paradise awaits.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Hereeth my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover is accepted at the places I love to shop. Getteth with the times.
With the times? You're playing the lute.
Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Jane has 150,000 miles on her truck, and she's proud of that. Jane's secret, AutoZone, where friendly AutoZoners help her find the right parts. Jane's brother Josh only cares that his car starts and goes, but when it doesn't, he also goes to AutoZone, where friendly AutoZoners help with free services. No hassles, just help. Everything you need, nothing you don't. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Restrictions apply.
If you need to hire, you know it takes time. Well, what if you could meet with qualified candidates the very next day? Now you can with Zip Intro from ZipRecruiter. You simply pick a time and it does all the work of finding and scheduling qualified candidates for you. Then you choose who you want to talk to and meet with great people on back-to-back video calls as soon as the next day.
Try Zip Intro for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. Zip Intro. Post jobs today. Talk to qualified candidates tomorrow.
Get a great deal on your new Silverado at the Maida Chevy Silverado Superstore. Great selection, great factory financing and incentive, and great Maida Chevy savings on every new Silverado in stock. Online at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
What's hot and what's not. Brought to you by American Energy Heat and Air, making the uncomfortable comfortable. Head to AmericanEnergyAir.com to find out more.
What's hot?
Yeah, hot. Real hot. And what's not?
It's not good. Brought to you by American Energy Heating and Air, Sacramento's complete heating and cooling company, and second opinion partner.
Who is hot?
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Oh.
Last night in the Oklahoma City Thunder's 103-91 win over the Indiana Pacers, he had 29 points, 12 assists, 5 rebounds, and took home the MVP.
That's pretty good.
That is good.
It's really good. Well, if he's hot, then who's not?
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Oh, no.
With those numbers, he was also 8 of 27 from the field for 30% shooting and 2 of 12 from three-pointers. That's
Ooh.
just 17%.
Oh. Fake.
But he was 11 of 12 from the free throw line. Interesting.
Interesting.
To be fair.
Coming up at 9 a.m. I didn't get a chance to weigh in on the Lakers being sold. Let you know what, talk about domino effect. So you know what that's going to do. Chris, I know I'm very curious as to what your take is going to be on this clip I'm about to play. This is Fox 13 in Seattle. They're talking about the Oklahoma City Thunder winning a championship. I think this is going to pull on two sides of your personality here. This is Fox 13 Seattle's post-game coverage of the Oklahoma City Thunder winning a championship.
Finally tonight, unfortunately, the Indiana Pacers lose Game 7 of the NBA Finals. Big game for the Sounders tomorrow. We will see you out at Lumen Field.
So I know you're not a Seattle guy.
I mean, they're not a basketball town.
But the hater in you has to love that. They were not having any part of
Tonight,
it.
unfortunately, the Indiana Pacers lose Game 7 of the NBA Finals.
I'm here for it, dude. That's Aaron Levine of Fox 13. Seattle. Hate away, baby. We'll have an update for you at 9. Also, Isaiah Hartenstein was on the dais with his young lad, and talked a little bit about the post-game celebration.
Isaiah, Tanya Gungoli, New York Times. What was the celebration like when you guys got to the locker room? Because when we got there, there weren't bottles being popped like you normally see. Do we miss that? And how much?
I mean, first of all, none of us knew how to do it, so it was more like like YouTube tutorials, and so we were just asking AC how to do it, and so it was a kind of not really in sync because no one knew how to do it, but yeah, shout out to AC for kind of teaching us how to pop champagne, I guess.
So, you seriously didn't know how to open a champagne bottle?
No. I mean, when I won in Lithuania, they just drank hard tequila, so there was just hard liquor straight. So yeah, we had to learn from AC. And here's my other son. This my big son right here. But yeah, I mean, AC did a great job giving us a tutorial, and so yeah, we're grateful for him.
The kids are always the stars of this thing. His son's over in the corner just yawning. He's not having it.
They didn't know how to open the bottles.
They did not how to open the bottles, dude. Well, half of them can't drink. By the way, fun fact from the guy who doesn't drink, opening a champagne bottle. So you know the little metal twisty thing that you have to untwist, and then exactly 5 times. They're all the same. They're exactly 5 half twists before it opens. Next time you do it, try it out. I learned that on a tour at Corbell. It's exactly 5 twists of the wiry thing on every champagne bottle. And if not, it's not real champagne or something like that. How about that?
Corbell's the only one in Champagne. It could be called champagne outside of Champagne.
That's true. It's exactly how they say it, too.
Did you have to make that voice?
Yes.
And make that look?
They have to.
If we don't, it's not officially Champagne.
It occurs to me that when I was ripping ESPN for their terrible coverage of the NBA Finals, I should say the broadcast and pre-half and post. I love Mike Breen. I think Richard Jefferson's not great.
He's fine.
I like Doris Burke, and I know that's controversial. I actually think she's great. To be honest with you, I think Breen, Mark Jackson, and Jeff Van Gundy were the best, or were better. But I should also compliment Scott Van Pelt, who I think probably rolls his eyes a lot for the same reasons we do. And I thought I thought maybe the best answer of the whole thing when it came down to it was Jalen Williams when, and this is where SVP is the best, long form, was talking to him after the game.
I know I got to let you go. I'm going to be greedy and ask one last thing.
Be greedy.
You've been incredibly, I think, humble. 40 piece. Like you could have been something else. What has been most satisfying that you gave this team along the way, that when you look back on it, when you're old and washed like me, you're like, I did that. Is there one thing that you'll take great satisfaction in from this run?
Nothing's more precious than time, I think. And I think when...
That's so true, man.
Just giving the team my time and them giving me theirs. We've had team dinners after we've lost. We've had plane don't take off till 4 a.m. and we sit on the runway. Like all those like cool times where we were present with each other and like had fun, played Blu-ray on the plane, Uno, listen to music together. Like all that stuff. I'm happy that I did that with this team. I think that's why we were so good. Like all the off the court stuff is stuff that I'll remember. And when it comes to like time, it's like, yeah, just spending extra hours with each other. Like me and Chet used to like go in the hotel and like watch film on like our pick and rolls when he was coming back. Like that's the stuff I remember from this run more than like, I can't even remember what happened in our last series. So it's like, those are always moments that stick out to me.
Well, you shared your time with me throughout this, and for that, I'm grateful. I enjoyed a chance to get to know you a little bit, and I look forward to doing it again somewhere down the road.
Yes, sir. I appreciate
it. Thank you
yes,
very
sir.
much. Thank you.
That's just great journalism. It's beautiful. That's exactly how it should be. Ask a thoughtful question and get the hell out of the way. Respect these guys, admire them, celebrate them for what they do. Don't sit in the back of your head trying to figure out when you're going to get your thing in. Or, they're just playing basketball. Yes, of course, in the big scheme of things, with everything going on in the world, this is all dumb. But it's it's a distraction. Of course, it's not dumb. We need these things. So, yes, celebrate them for being the best at what they do. And by the way, I'll say this again. There's this thing we have. I don't know if it's a human being thing. I don't know if it's an NBA fan thing. Where we just don't like new people. We don't like new things. I think there's a lot of people that had never heard Jalen Williams speak before. And I would put a Jalen Williams interview up against about anybody in the NBA. This Oklahoma City team, they're all squeaky clean. They all seem like great kids. They love each other. They got great personalities. And they're the NBA champions. I mean, we're trying to find ways to tear them down. How about just enjoy it? Because yesterday's Michael Jordans and Kareems and Karl Malones and Hakeems and Charles Barkley's and Kenny Smiths and Kevin Garnett's and Ray Allen's and Tim Duncan's. That's today's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's and Tyrese Haliburton's and Miles Turner's and Jalen Williams's and Chet Holmgren. That's we're going to be saying in 20, 30 years about whoever's playing then. We're going to be using these guys as the example. You got to understand that's how time works. So enjoy it in the moment. This is a special team filled with a lot of special dudes. Same thing with Indiana. Celebrate the damn game. All right, let's go streaking.
It's time to go streaking.
We're going streaking! Yeah!
Who is the Nostradamus of MLB? Who can keep the streak going? It's time to go streaking.
What the hell are you doing? We're streaking.
All righty-o, Christopher. How are we doing?
Well, Jason's streak came to an end on Thursday, so he is trying to get things started on Friday. He picked Ronald Acuna Jr.
Ronald Acuna Jr.
Now, they lost the Marlins 2-6.
I think I sang that to Una Paloma Blanca. Go ahead.
But he went 2 for 4 on the day.
Yeah, that's
restarting that
streak.
streak.
Sorry.
You were also restarting a streak.
Yeah.
You chose Mookie Betts.
Mookie Betts.
They won the game 6-5 over the Nationals. He got up 5 times.
Yeah.
He got a hit.
Hey, you got the cutest little Mookie Betts.
And I had a 1-game hitting streak.
Yeah.
I went with San Francisco Giant Rafael Devers.
Oh.
And he went 1 for 3 on Friday.
1 for 3. Yes.
3.
All that matters is the 1. Attaboy.
He had a pretty good series.
He did have a really good series. Give me the big dumper taking on the Minnesota Twins, Cal Raleigh. Target Field, Minneapolis, Minnesota. Chris?
I wanted to go with Old Faithful. I said I'm not taking Jackson Holiday the rest of the month.
Can't do it.
I'll take Aaron Judge.
Aaron Judge.
And Jason, he picked, I don't remember who he picked, but he told us last night.
Yeah, whatever. Shout out to the one guy that texts me every once in a while. It's like, I hate this segment. There's no point to it. There's not even any prizes. We'll take a break. When we return, the Lakers sold. Already talked about that, but I'm going to tie that into something else, which is expansion is coming, and why last night was a bittersweet night for the city of Seattle. We'll do that next.
Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. Subcontractorsunited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
The Giant Summer Sale is here. Get giant savings on our giant selection only at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? Save during the Giant Summer Sale and drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our number one priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda. Go to FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
Whitey here for Napoleon Grills, reminding you that when buying a new grill, every detail matters. While supplies last, you'll receive a $149 gift with purchase on every new Napoleon Prestige stainless steel grill. The kit even includes a pizza lover starter kit and much more. And now up to $79 off Napoleon Rogue models. Napoleon grills are built different, built better, built to last, with a lifetime warranty and premium steel that boasts amazing quality. Visit Green Acres Nursery today for your best selection of Napoleon grills and accessories.
Hi, Sacramento. It's the No Surprise Guys at Bell Brothers Plumbing and Air Conditioning. Is your AC on the fritz? Call Bell Brothers. Looking to replace your old unit with a 0% financing and no payments for 12 months on approved credit? Call Bell Brothers. We're fast, reliable, and respect your time by showing up when we say we will. The price we quote is the price you pay. We are the No Surprise Guys. Call today to get a free estimate on a new HVAC system, or simply schedule your $87 AC Precision tune-up to keep your system running smoothly. With more technicians, more trucks, and more experience, we get the job done right the first time. No surprises. Our technicians are all background checked, drug tested, and will leave the work area cleaner than they found it. Don't wait. Call Bell Brothers today or book online at NoSurpriseGuys.com. That's NoSurpriseGuys.com.
local sports leader in the 916.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, Sacktown Sports 1140. The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone. And then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sacktown Sports.
Hey, Bobby, what do we do? Thank you. Final hour of the program. Carmichael Dave. Christopher Laud. No Jason Ross. Jason's off today. Off tomorrow as well. He'll be back on Wednesday. A couple more things on the Thunder and this title and why it's a little bit different. I'm gonna bring in who am I looking at here? Let me bring it up. Rachel Nichols and Emmanuel Acho. Listen to them talking about the celebration last night.
This was amazing to me. I have covered dozens of championships in multiple sports, Super Bowls, World Series, Stanley Cup Finals, plenty of NBA championships. I have never seen a locker room like this. First of all, several of the guys had to be taught how to open a champagne bottle. Alex Caruso, you can see footage of it on the NBA's website. Alex Caruso is literally going from guy to guy, teaching them how to open a champagne bottle because most of them don't know. They get the bottles open. They have maybe, 45 seconds of the spraying each other, right? He's showing them how to shake it up. They're just watching him. Do you see that? I mean, it is unbelievable. Then they have about 45 seconds of this. This is what we've seen on TV. This is what we're going to do. It's great. And then that's it. That is it. I'm telling you, I walked around the table where they keep all the alcohol, and normally there's just bottles littered everywhere. Normally you walk in as a reporter, you wear clothes that you know are going to get drenched in champagne. Guys are pouring stuff on everyone's heads. None of that was going on. It was almost silent. There were maybe 8 empty bottles of champagne. That's it. I tweeted out a photo of it.
Okay, so let me follow that up with one more thing here. Here's Chet Holmgren post game talking about the drinking that went on.
But for now, I got my Michelob Ultra joints.
Your what? What?
And these work.
What do you have?
But for now, I got my Michelob Ultra joints. And now I got my Michelob Ultra joints.
Michelob Ultra joints.
Does everything need to be sponsored?
Like Michelin. Michelob. Here's the thing. This is one other thing we kind of have to, and I think part of the reason why there's a little bit of hate going on. When you look at the roster of this Oklahoma City team, 26-22, 26-24, 25-26, 27-23, 25-23, 22-19. These are ages. 21, 26, 24, 22. Kenrich Williams is 30. Alex Caruso is 31. This is really the first predominantly Gen Z title. It's the first Gen Z title. Here's something about Gen Z, as I got a couple of kiddos on the edge of it. Gen Z kids are dorks. And I mean that in the kindest way. They're nerds. Straight up. They're not getting on their bikes and going to the school and drinking out of the hose and all that stuff that probably hasn't been done in a long time. Dude, they're FaceTiming each other. My son, when he gets his free time, when he plays sports, but his free time, he's in front of his little TV playing what's the game? Soccer Cars. I always forget it. Where you're the car and you try to get the soccer ball in the goal. It's not
Rocket League.
The Rocket League. Thank you. Here's what he does. He plays Rocket League, and he's got his phone on his chest while he's kind of leaning back in his chair playing Rocket League with his buddies. And he's got like 6 friends that are all on this group call, all laughing and just talking to each other. They're FaceTiming. They're laughing at memes about cats. They're playing Roblox. They're not going out.
Go outside, nerd. Go.
They're not heading down to Ansel Hoffman Park with their buddy where they stashed a case of Lucky Lager they picked off of the liquor store that absolutely sells to underage kids. How many of you out there knew where to go for that? When you were under 21, every town everywhere has the one liquor store that will sell. The one. Well, there's more than one, but the one that you identified. They're not doing that. They're not doing crazy stuff. They're dorks. So you get into a final celebration. They don't know how to twist champagne bottles off. They're sitting there with Michelob Ultras. Anybody see the clip of Jalen Williams trying beer for the first time, and he instantly gets bitter beer face and says, "Where's the tequila?" That he probably tried once. They're all the kids that get hammered for the very first time and just act like we've all been there. You wake up in the morning, your shirt's covered in puke. Hey, Kyle, can you hear me? Hey, can you turn your mic on real quick? Thank you. I'm going to bring Kyle in here for a second. There you go. Hi, Kyle.
Hello, Dave.
Kyle, how old are you?
I turned 24 years old today.
Okay, you're the perfect guy today. Today?
Today.
Oh, happy birthday, dude.
Yeah, I ruined celebrity birthdays, but there you go.
Oh, wow.
We would need a celebrity.
Also, I'd forget by then. Kyle, you're the perfect example. So born in 01?
01, yes.
Okay, all right. You're Gen Z. You're right there.
I am the exact same age as Jalen Williams.
Okay. Now, I say this, as you know, I was just talking about my own kids, but you guys are kind of dorks. And I don't mean that as far as like you're bad people or I mean like you're not troublemakers.
What you are describing, yes. I would not use the word dorks, but
I'm using
yes.
I'm using the colloquial as a term of endearment. Like
yes. What you have been describing for the last 5 minutes, from what I've heard, sounds like yes.
Yeah, you guys are you're social, but in a different way. Not that you don't do stuff in person, but you're not.
Everything's an inside joke.
You're not. Right?
Yeah.
You're not going to house parties every Friday night and waking up with chunks of dinner on your chest because you puked all over yourself.
I would say there's just less of those people.
Yeah.
Those still exist. There's just a smaller percentage of people who are, recklessly doing things they shouldn't be allowed to.
You're not out, as somebody just said in the chat, you're not out bribing the, how should I refer to the person at the liquor store sitting outside? The inquisitive gentleman outside the liquor store.
Hey, could you give me and my friends a 6-pack?
That's exactly right. You're not bribing Joe, the guy holding the sign, to go in and buy you a 12 or a Keystone Light.
Yes,
right.
I think I feel like I've kind of lost the plot, but I think you're right.
No, I'm just saying it's just when people, I think part of the subconscious, I don't want to call it backlash, but of those that are like OKC, they're just not watchable. They're so boring. The style of it's because they're a bunch of nice kids that aren't. And now I don't know what's going to happen when they get older and they've been millionaires forever, but as of right, they're not out there. You're not seeing them at the clubs every night. And by the way, if you're at the clubs every night, God bless you. That's fine. I'm just saying you're not seeing that. You're seeing a bunch of dorky little kids hanging out, playing video games in their rooms on the road and loving basketball and eating gummy bears and having fun. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just, there's a reason why Anthony Edwards, and by the way, I love Anthony Edwards, but why he probably is the most popular young player in the league, not Haliburton, not Tatum, not SGA. I guarantee you, Kyle, correct me if I'm wrong, if you asked people between the ages of 12 and 30 and you put Tatum, Haliburton, Anthony Edwards and SGA up in a poll, that Anthony Edwards would lap the field.
Yes, although Luka would also get some shout.
Probably, but Anthony Edwards would lap the field.
Yes.
And Anthony Edwards, the one guy out of all of them that's had some issues. But that's like it's cool though, man. He's got an edge.
Yeah, that's the word. He's edgy.
And I'm not ripping. Look, Anthony Edwards is great, wonderful. He's wonderful for the sport. SGA and Tatum and Haliburton and a bunch of, they're just boring. They smile. They're thoughtful in their interviews. There's nothing crazy about them off court. The closest was Haliburton's dad. And I just think that turns a lot of people off. Your generation, man. I say good for you, by the way.
You are not losers.
Yeah, we're just different.
You are not dorks. You don't suck.
Right? You're fine. I got no problem. I believe that you guys are the future. Teach you well and you'll lead the way.
Yeah, I would say fine is probably a good word. Like we're pretty messed up, but in different ways than the previous generation.
Thank you, Kyle. You can hear Kyle and Alan coming up here in about an hour. All right. Where was I? Yes, the Lakers sold. $10 billion for a basketball team. What? Yeah, it's the most anyone's paid for a franchise anywhere ever. Doesn't mean that they're the most valuable franchise in the world. They're not. There's, I would say, probably at least 1, 2, maybe 3 franchises that would sell for more than that. I think the Yankees would. The Cowboys would. And then there's one I'm forgetting. I don't know if it's a soccer team or not, but Lakers sold. This seems very Mark Cuban-y in how it's being presented. The Buss family. I mean, the Lakers were basically damn near founded in LA by Jerry Buss, Dr. Buss. Jeannie Buss will retain a minority stake. She's the current governor of the team. Mark Walter is the businessman that gets the majority stake. According to the quotes, Jeannie will also retain her governor's seat as well. Here's the deal. If I'm a Laker fan, first off, I'd punch myself in the face. Secondly, I'd be through the moon, whatever the saying is about this. Here's the thing about Mark Walter, okay? He founded Guggenheim Partners. What does that mean? He's the majority owner of the Dodgers, the LA Sparks, Andretti Racing. He owns the Professional Women's Hockey League. Like, dude took over the Dodgers along with Magic Johnson and friends.
And if you're a Dodger fan, you love how much the ticket prices are going up.
Well, you certainly love the championships. And this dude will spend money. Now, he'll charge money, but he'll spend money. So here we are. The Lakers sold about 3 months after the Celtics sold. With apologies to the Knicks and maybe the Bulls. You're talking about the 2 tentpole franchises in the NBA. None bigger. They sold within 3 months of each other. And the fact of the matter is, this guy just paid $10 billion for a team that has absolutely no stadium control and has been in there for 26 years. That is a crazy amount. Usually it would be like, well, you're getting the team, but you're also getting this real estate, and there's this huge play here, this and that. And I'm sure there's things at work. I won't call it an overpay. Valuations in the NBA have skyrocketed since the league completed there. And we talked about this. We've talked about this for years. I see some people selling their shares, whether it's majority or minority. And I go, dude, you're picking the wrong time, brother. The time to sell your shares is right after expansion. You're missing out on the valuation jump when it comes to the TV deal, $77 billion over 11 years. And then you're missing your piece of not one but two expansion teams. Did you say something, Chris?
What?
Did you say something?
No.
In my ear? Oh, okay, sorry. So the Celtics sell for $6+ billion. The Lakers sell for $10 billion. And expansion is about to happen. Now, when it comes to expansion, I'm here to tell you right now, and this is the worst kept secret in the world. We've been talking about it for 2 years, but it's about to become official. The NBA will announce, it could be as soon as this week, they are going to announce that Seattle and Las Vegas have been granted NBA expansion. And from what I understand, according to league sources, it's not just that, but as long expected. This is the part that could change, but it seems that both, barring some sort of last-minute change or a vote against, which it doesn't sound like there will be, what is it, Memphis and Minnesota and I think Memphis go to the East to balance it out. So it's not a question of if. It's happened. I'm telling you right now, and it's not like I'm breaking news. We've been talking about it, but it's now imminent. Like I said, it could be this week. Seattle and Vegas are getting expansion teams. What's really fascinating, though, is what's the expansion fee going to be? Because when this all first started, the talk of expansion, you were talking about a $2 billion expansion fee. And relatively quickly, it got to $3 billion. Then last I heard, it was, around 4. It might be 5 or 6 now. I think it's certainly going to be, the floor is $4 billion. But I would put the over-under at the next expansion fee at $5 billion. $5 billion. I don't know why I said it like that.
That's just stupid.
$5 billion. Now, think about this. This is why I do not understand Mark Cuban selling when he sold. There's something I will MC on the chat will tell you, I poo-poo a lot of conspiracy theories. We like to go back and forth. This is a conspiracy theory I am 100% here for. Mark Cuban, whose whole life was basically Shark Tank and the Dallas Mavericks. He sells the Mavericks to the widow of Sheldon Adelson, the Vegas mogul, and he leaves Shark Tank. Now, when he left Shark Tank, everyone was like, well, he's running for president probably. There's an election year. Nope, that never happened. There is something, and it doesn't get enough attention. Why would Mark Cuban voluntarily leave the Mavs and Shark Tank within like a year? Now, you had all the sexual harassment stuff and investigations and everything going on with the Mavs, the workplace culture, the hiring of Haralabos Vulgaris, the ex-gambler turned basketball savant guy into the front office. There's something incredibly hinky about Mark Cuban selling when he did. Oh, well, he's still the governor. Well, okay, yeah. Same governor who said, yeah, I would not have traded Luka Doncic. He has no say. He's a puppet at this point. I like Mark, but there is another. Something is going to come out about that at some point. He didn't just up and go, I'm going to give up the 2 biggest things in my life. I could see one. I could see him saying, I've been on Shark Tank forever, dude. It's a big time commitment. Not the Mavs.
He didn't want a piece of gambling in Texas.
Yeah, not at all. But also, you have that TV deal at $77 billion. Now add in another $10 billion. But this $10 billion, you probably take $1 billion off the top for the league bank accounts. And then you divide $9 billion by 30 teams, which I think is $300 million a team. If I'm doing my math right. Yeah. $300 million per team. That's a lot of money. It's a cash cow, dude. Please keep in mind, most of these teams, most of these owners, they don't see a lot of money off these teams. Their play is in the equity growth. Chris is a billionaire. He goes and he buys the Kings. He buys them for $4 billion. It's not like he's getting the perks, but he's not getting dividend checks that often. In fact, more often than not, they have what's called a cash call because a team wants to do this or that or went over budget or they have this new project, whatever, and they need to raise $10 million, and that gets divided up based on your percentage of ownership. You're more often than not, you're coming out of pocket for more money than you're receiving in dividends during the tenure of you owning the team. Your money comes when you sell it. Then you get the windfall. So, weird time to sell. The other conspiracy theory I love too, by the way, is because here's one thing. Even though the Lakers sale was announced last week, these types of things happen for a while. I know back in 2013 when the Kings were applying, I think I'm getting this right. So every single owner, whether it's Vivek Ranadive or Chris Verlaud, who owned 0.25% of the team, every owner has to go fill out this massive, think about it if you were buying 5 houses and 3 cars all at once, this massive, massive application fee. I want to say the fee, or this massive application, the fee for the application, I want to say was 10 or 15 grand a pop to the NBA, because part of it, in addition to them doing a forensic audit of your finances, they also have investigators check out your background. You don't want it, for example, you don't want to announce, hey, Chris Verlaud, we welcome him into the NBA family. He's been approved to purchase the Sacramento Kings. 5 months later, oh, Chris did this thing with these, just fill in the blank of horrible things Chris might have done.
He cut ticket prices by 80%.
Yeah, no. Well, that would probably equally piss
that
off.
would make owners very upset.
That would actually make them more angry than if you stole like 700 cars in your youth. So they do these background. So my point is this Lakers thing, albeit this guy has already been approved as an owner in baseball and in many different ways, so he's going to have a lot of these figures ready, a lot of the stuff that he's going to pay. It's not like he's sitting at the dining room table filling the stuff out like I am with my kids' college. Like, he's got people that do this. It still takes a while. They do their due diligence. Here's my point. They knew about this sale. The sale was already in process when the Doncic trade was made. 100% it was. Interesting. So, Brian Windhorst voice, the Lakers were already in the process of being sold when Luka Doncic was mysteriously traded from Dallas to the Lakers for Anthony Davis and some magic beans. And then Dallas gets the number 1 pick in the draft. I'm all, like, it's probably not true, but I'm so here for that. Yeah, I'm here for that. Wow, MC says if I FaceTimed him, he wouldn't answer. That's mean. I was like actually being nice to him today. Jesus. That's mean. What's the point of that? Being a good guy today. We'll take a break. When we come back, What's on Deck, brought to you by Trex Decking and Railing. Crosstalk with Alan Stiles and celebrity birthdays right behind that. I'll come up right after this.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back, He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
Aloha! Dreaming of sandy beaches and ocean breezes? JTV's Tropical Treasure Sweepstakes could make that dream come true. Enter for your chance to win a fabulous Hawaiian getaway for two with luxury accommodations, airfare, and spending cash. Plus, just for entering, get $30 off your next qualifying JTV purchase of at least $99 when you opt in for emails. Don't miss out. Visit jtv.com/sweeps and enter by August 3rd. JTV, where paradise awaits.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Hereth my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover is accepted at the places I love to shop. Getteth with the times.
With the times? You're playing the lute.
Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Hey, it's Mike Rohn. If I have a choice, I like to do business with companies that actually stand for something. That's why I switched from Verizon to Pure Talk. No offense to Verizon, I'm sure they stand for something. I just don't know what it is. Pure Talk, on the other hand, is a veteran-owned company that supports our military in a big way, and I appreciate that. Yeah, I also appreciate unlimited talk and text and plenty of data for half the cost of the big guys, and I do like being on America's most dependable 5G network for just $20 a month, but what I really appreciate is no contract, no cancellation fees, and Pure Talk's commitment to handle all their customer service in this country. I saw it for myself. I went to Georgia, I got a tour of their headquarters, I met their CEO, and I talked to the same customer service folks that you'll talk to when you dial pound 250 and say keyword micro. Switch today and save 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say keyword micro. Pure Talk, a wireless company that actually stands for something.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave here for American Energy, and oh my goodness, I'm born and raised here. I know it gets hot, but my goodness, we're already seeing 100-degree days. Listen to me. You do not want your system to conk out in the middle of June or July or August with one of those big 100-degree stretches. You want to make sure you're good all summer long. And my friends at American Energy Heating and Air can do that with a $24.50 tune-up right now. That's half price. And if you need a new system, $3,500 off, up to $3,500 off in rebates for qualified systems. They've been around since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. Call them right now, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990. Jingle Singers, take it away.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Get to your local Toyota dealer because the 4th of July sales event is on. This summer, freedom comes with a full tank and endless possibilities. Right now, get a low-cost lease on 2025 Tacoma or get an incredible $3,000 cash back on 2025 Tundra. Plus, check out the all-new 2025 4Runner. The hottest deals of the summer won't last long, so don't miss the chance to roam. Your Toyota truck is ready for it all. Toyota, let's go places. Offers available through TFS to buyers with premium rated credit. Cashback available through TMNA and cannot be combined with other offers at 6/30/25.
Ladies and gentlemen,
this is going to be fun.
It's time for What's on Deck, brought to you by Trex Decking and Railing.
All right, our thanks to Trex Decking and Railing. First up on deck is not a game, it's a quick statement about my last segment. Guys, there's like two people texting. They're like, hey, told you it was a conspiracy. Like, there's a difference between loving a conspiracy theory and believing it. No, the draft was not rigged. Stop it. Don't be silly. Yes, it was. Okay. Good luck covering that one up. Oh, by the way, it's a federal crime. Would literally be a federal crime.
Yeah, guys. And when have ever billionaires committed federal crimes to
be a lot
enrich
of them.
themselves?
Well, why would Adam Silver do that? He'd be behind. Well, okay, let's be honest. None of them would be behind bars.
Why would a commissioner be a fall guy?
Yeah, why would he just volunteer for that one? Don't think so. Way. As somebody who's pulled off many federal crimes in his lifetime, I can tell you. Can't trust no one. The amount of...
You just ripped the tag right off that pillow and didn't even care.
Yeah, you're damn right. That dang mattress. Yeah, it's fun because it's movies and, it's fun. The first question the first rule of conspiracy theory is this. How are you pulling it off? How are you getting everybody to stay quiet? Everyone to stay quiet. How you doing it? And the answer is you're not. 99% of the time. Also, over the weekend, couple of things, no time to mention. If you want to feel bad for somebody today, feel bad for Tommy Fleetwood. Some of you are probably like, who's Tommy Fleetwood? Well, he's a very successful British golfer who's never won on the PGA Tour despite competing almost every single week. He had a one-shot lead going into 18 at the Travelers. And you just saw him melt down, indecision, stress. It was a choke job if there ever was one. Meanwhile, Keegan Bradley, captain of the Ryder Cup team, coming up from the area in New England, crowd favorite, former champion of that event, just throws a freaking dart on 18. You're thinking, okay, playoff. Tommy's got 2 shots, go up and down, no problem. Tommy Fleetwood has a putt about an inch away from Keegan Bradley's to force a playoff. He misses his putt. Keegan sinks it. You see poor Tommy hugging his wife and kids afterwards, just absolutely crestfallen. Meanwhile, what a moment for Keegan Bradley. If you happen to catch that in the middle of the sports day yesterday, that was crazy, especially after all the craziness with J.J. Spawn at the U.S. Open the weekend before. Just a couple of really, really cool endings in golf. Also, LSU beat Coastal Carolina to win the College World Series in Omaha. What was incredibly interesting about this was the head coach of Coastal Carolina was tossed, Kevin Schnall, and so was first base coach Matt Schilling in the bottom of the first inning. And that led to, after LSU went on to win and win the sweep, I should say, the best of 3 series, Coach Schnall, or the manager, I should say, in just an all-time great rant.
There's 25,000 people there, and I vaguely hear a warning issued. As the head coach, I was assistant for 24 years, and as an assistant, you're almost treated like a second level citizen, and you can't say a word. Now, as a head coach, I think it is your right to get an explanation of why we got warned. And I'm 48 years old. I shouldn't get shooed by another grown man, right? So when I come out to ask what the warning is, a grown man shooed me. So at that point, I can now hear him say, it was a warning issued for arguing balls and strikes. And at that point, I said, because you missed 3. At that point, ejected. If that warrants an ejection, I'm the first one to stand here like a man and apologize two words that define our program are own it. And what does that mean is you have to own everything that you do without blame, without defending yourself, without excuses. If you guys watch the video, there was a guy that came in extremely aggressively, tripped over Campos's foot, embarrassed in front of 25,000, immediately goes 2-game suspension and said, bumping the umpire. Immediately does that. There was no bump. He was embarrassed. I shouldn't be held accountable for a grown man's athleticism. They'll retract it, though, because now it's excessive. And the reason why it's excessive, because I was trying to say, I didn't bump him. It is what it is. But if that warranted an ejection, man, there'd be a lot of ejections. As an umpire, I feel like it's your job to manage the game, the national championship game, with some poise, some calmness, and a little bit of tolerance.
I mean, I get it, dude. Nobody came here to see the umpires. At the same time, maybe don't say that's 3 you missed. Control your temper and handle it. You let your team down. You talked about owning things and accountability, bro. You heard that you were warned. The one thing that he said in there that got me, because I agree with a lot of what he said. But the one thing he said is he said, I was told that we were warned for arguing balls and strikes. And he immediately responded with, that's 3 you missed. Well, you were warned and you did it again. Do I think the ump should have thrown him out? No, I do not. I absolutely do not. From the 530. This is one of the guys that said, Dave, it's funny you think the fix might have been in with the draft and the Mavericks hit the number 1 pick. I told you this. Sent you a text. You said, no way, it's coincidence. That's Joe from the 530. And I responded to him. I said, you got to do better, man. That was sarcasm. No, I do not believe that. Well, he says, I wouldn't say it was sarcasm. It was sarcasm. It was an opinion you don't agree with. No, I was saying I was being sarcastic. But saying it's impossible for this to occur is naive of you. Brother, it's impossible for it to occur. Occur. You want to believe there was some sort of conspiracy to give Dallas the number 1 pick, you go right ahead. It ties in well with the Lakers always being at the center of conspiracies. It ties in well with the sale. I get it. Didn't happen. You going to keep that a secret from the other owners? What about the other 29 owners, 28 owners in the league? Which, by the way, they own the NBA. They are Adam Silver's boss. Adam works for them. You going to keep that from Mickey Arison? You going to keep that from James Dolan, who has openly spoken out against the NBA? All who have contacts with it. Just stop arguing in your head right now, which anyone who believes it was a conspiracy is doing. You're already, if you haven't already, formulating your comeback. Just stop and clear your head for just 2 seconds, please. Start thinking about what it would take for that conspiracy to happen. From the ping pong balls drawn in private with many, many members of the media in attendance watching it, from the accounting firm that has to certify it, that is independent of the league. And even if you're sitting there and you're like, well, the media doesn't know what they're looking at, that could be, okay, well, the accounting firm, they're getting paid. Okay, all right, we'll keep going. But now the NBA has to hatch this plan. How many people within the mat, you think it's just Nico Harrison? How many people within the Mavericks you think would have to know that? How many people within the Lakers would have to know that? You tell me not one of them says something to one of their friends with another team. How do you think the other billionaire owners would feel about that? About the Lakers getting Luka Doncic and Dallas getting the number 1 pick, neither of which is coming to them. Well, you're just going to hide it? They're just going to roll with it? They're going to be fine with it? By the way, everybody has a wife or a husband or a kid. That's too juicy of a secret. Someone's going to say something to someone who says something to someone who says something to someone. And next thing you know, an ESPN investigative journalist, not ESPN, they're a partner with the NBA. Okay, The Athletic.
Do they still have journalists at ESPN?
They have Mark Fineru-Wada and the other guy with the beard, starts with a W, that writes the long form articles.
This would be a Pablo Torre.
Pablo would be all over it. Simmons would be all over it. Just, I get it's attractive. Think it through. It is literally not possible. Not improbable. It's not possible. Unless you're one of those we're in a simulation. The earth is flat. We've never been to the moon people. Then, hey, you know what, brother? More power to you. I don't want to get on your bad side.
It is a simulation.
It is a simulation. A's and Giants are off today. No basketball. We have officially entered the dark days of summer. We'll have the draft coming up, but really it's baseball and no Giants, no A's. So what's on deck? Nothing.
Hey, we got the Club World Cup going on.
Oh, yeah, there's that. I'm sure there's like a race or hurdle or a dog agility show. I don't know.
Still got the WNBA.
Yes, we do. There you go. There you go. Although Caitlin Clark, they had a big lead on Vegas over the weekend in Las Vegas. That didn't work out. Crosstalk and celebrity birthdays coming up next.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento
biggest stories. Hard-hitting analysis.
Yeah, this is none of those things. And now, here's Carmichael Dave and Jason Ross.
Crosstalk time. Alan Styles getting ready. Well,
one of these days he'll be ready.
Well, one of these days. Somebody asked.
You know what? He was ready on Friday.
When nobody was here. I got you. That makes sense. Somebody asked about the imminent NBA expansion draft. Probably, my guess is next year. The expansion team must select this was at least last expansion. Expansion team must select a minimum of 14 players, can select a maximum of 29 overall. The expansion team can select only one player from any one NBA team. They are not bound to the salary cap during the draft. Each existing NBA team could protect around 8 players. So, okay, with expansion coming to Vegas and Seattle, I would imagine next year, if not the year after, but I would think next year we're gonna be sitting here going, who we protected? Last time, famously, the Kings did not protect Gerald Wallace, chose to protect Anthony Peeler, amongst others. Gerald Wallace.
No, I know who he is.
Oh, Anthony Peeler. Elbowed Kevin Garnett in the face in the playoffs, dude. Come on now.
Okay.
And that didn't work. Gerald went on to have a fine career.
Yeah.
One of Jeff Petrie's gems, drafted as a freshman when that wasn't all that common out of Alabama. Let me see here.
This is what I was saying today, though, Dave. What I was reading as far as the expansion is that a lot of people think Minnesota would have to be the team to go over to the East. Let's just pretend.
Wouldn't it be 2 teams in the East? Why am I wrong about that? Because that sounds right. But if you brought Vegas and Seattle in, that's 2 teams in the West.
Right. So then they're ahead by 2. So then you take away 1. Minnesota, now it's 1-1. Right?
I got you. Okay, maybe that's right.
But but I was also asking right now with Tatum out, Haliburton out, and the Cavs might get a redo at all this, but Tatum out, Haliburton out, Dame out.
Yes.
If you asked all the owners in the West, if you just had a bidding war, let's just play the game, right? Who cares about even numbers?
Oh yeah.
If you had a bidding war with the teams in the West to say, hey, one of you gets to go to the East next season.
I don't know why. You're just like at the edge of the screen. I don't know why. Go ahead. You're right.
How much would the Kings pay? How much would even anybody just to get to the East, and then you just throw the Wizards in the West because they want to stink anyway, and bing bam boom.
Well, the problem is the only problem with that is that we're not going to. By the time that expansion team starts playing, those guys will all be back. But your point.
I'm saying next season, how much would you pay? Because you're going to get it back. That playoff revenue, baby.
I think this is interesting. Who do the Kings protect? They protect Keon Ellis.
We're doing this now.
No. Just off the top of my head. Keon Ellis, Keegan Murray, probably Devin Carter. I think that Malik Monk maybe. I think what's actually really interesting, probably Sabonis. Do they protect DeRozan? I don't think they protect.
You're saying if it was tomorrow?
Yeah, if it was tomorrow. Do they protect Zach LaVine?
Well, here's the thing. Do you protect someone in order to trade them? Because would you lose DeMar DeRozan for nothing? Or
yeah, you would trade. So you're probably protecting DeRozan. I think the big one there is, do you protect Zach LaVine? Or do you hope a team, which they probably would, just takes that contract off your hands, which they probably would. In fact, he'd probably be one of the top picks, if not the top pick in that draft.
I think you're right. But the other thing is too, though, Dave, and you've been here forever, and I'm still getting used to everything. But as I learn, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you get LaVine off the books. Nobody's coming to Sacramento, said loyal Sacramento fans to me. It doesn't matter if Scott Perry has connections. No one's coming here.
I mean, first off, we over the years have gotten our players by forcing them. We have to force them here. There's 2 major exceptions.
Yeah.
DeMar DeRozan and Vlade Divac.
Right.
Those are the 2 best players in franchise history that have voluntarily come to Sacramento. Now, the good news is once they come here, they stay here. But I would also submit this. I've been to Oklahoma City. I actually dig Oklahoma City. I love Bricktown. It's a cool little. I shouldn't say little. It's a cool. No, it is. It's a cool place. Sacramento is a billion times better as a place to live for the most part. Somebody's gonna be like, "What about?" No, dude. It's California. Okay,
Exactly.
And you're a young millionaire, and San Francisco's right there, and Tahoe's there, and LA's there. Sacramento is a far better place to live than Oklahoma City for an NBA player. Nobody wants to go to Oklahoma City over the years. That's not a destination place, but guess what? You put together a great culture. You put together a great team.
Yeah.
You think anybody doesn't want to go to Oklahoma City this summer? If Sam Presti was out there searching free agents, they all want to go.
Yeah, and look, my whole thing is Scott Perry, obviously he's got the connections. That's what we've been talking about this whole time. And the other part of it is look at what we just watched with DeMar DeRozan. Yeah, there's a little bit of a Sacramento, not even Sacramento. We'll call it a small market tax, right? It is, and that's fine. That's why you're moving off of. That's why you're taking the cap space, and you don't want to pay guys too much more. But DeMar DeRozan, that Sacramento tax or that small market tax doesn't even seem that bad now. We'll see what he actually gets traded for, but it really wasn't even that bad.
No, it wasn't at all. And yet,
what are you doing?
I'm just trying out a little something here. I
say Dragon Bender.
I'm actually looking. Bob Myers, Masai Ujiri, Rob Pelinka. Is it John Forst? Tim Conley was gone. Who replaced Tim Conley in Denver as the GM? Damn it. Brad Stevens, and now Sam Presti. Sorry, when you said Scott Perry, I was trying to work something out in my head.
Okay.
I wonder how far you'd have to go back to find a GM that old that won an NBA title. Like, it's a young man's league now, dude. It's a young man's league. Connections, schmonnections.
No,
it's analytics and nerds. You see Sam Presti, he's the best in the league. He's nerdy, nerderton.
That's why Scott and I, we follow each other, Monday Motivation. I love it. It's a wait and see deal. It's a wait and see deal. I know he follows you too now.
No, he doesn't. Oh, no, he doesn't. No.
Oh, I thought after you guys met.
Nope.
I thought after you guys kicked it.
Nope.
Because that picture was cool.
Right.
I didn't get to kick it with him.
Whatever.
Did he unfollow me yet?
How would I know that? You got to look him up.
I will.
We read his Monday. Well, that's a new bit now. But he posts his Monday Motivation at 4:45 in the morning.
We've been doing it, and Kyle keeps, because I know we're working on things for this season, and we keep reading it, and Kyle keeps saying it's corny, and I keep saying that is not me, Mr. Perry, that is Kyle. And if Kyle prevents us from getting Mr. Perry on the program, we're going to have a problem.
Why would Kyle prevent?
Well, he's running around saying he doesn't dig the Monday Motivation.
Hey, you got to relax, Kyle.
It's these Gen Zers.
You know, that's the Thunder. They're your first Gen Z.
They just want a mocktail, and
I almost forgot. I thought about this 2 hours ago, Chris, before we get to celebrity birthdays. Hey, Chris, what's your favorite booze? It's something Maker's, something Turkey. What is it?
Maker's Mark?
I don't know.
The one that you got me?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's my favorite.
Okay, what is your favorite?
Mark. My favorite right now, I would say, is Redwood Empire Rye.
How expensive is it?
That's not expensive.
Remember when I said Chris is a fall guy?
Yeah.
That's what a fall guy would say. Something I've never heard of.
I've never heard of it. Yeah. Okay, all right. I got a big fat bottle of that for you. Well, I'm sorry, I forgot I forgot
to look at.
To look at, of course, not to drink because we don't condone that. Find me Pat O'Brien. He's still with us, isn't he?
Oh, I'm going to need a better bottle than that.
Pat can't be that busy. I want Pat O'Brien to come on so I can grill him on the old CBS Finals intros. And if he comes on, I will tell him, for your appearance, you got yourself a nice big sleeve of crumble cookies because nothing's his family, friends, or an NBA Finals intro like crumble cookies. Celebrity birthdays, Christopher Laud. Sorry, go ahead.
Randy Jackson of American Idol fame.
Of Journey fame, by the way. Randy Jackson is 67.
Yeah, it's a no for me, dog. He's still around doing something. And yeah, that's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
70.
Alan is closer. 69 today for Randy Jackson.
Nice.
Happy birthday, LaDainian Tomlinson.
LT.
LT is 51.
He was running for a while.
He was
53.
Dave is closer, 46.
Oh, wow.
White Sox player Tim Anderson.
Well, man.
31?
I might have to do a podcast on that guy's life.
Seriously?
You know about this
ever since he got punched, dude?
Well, before that.
Oh, no.
Okay,
do the podcast. What's your guess?
You said 31?
Yeah.
33.
Right in the middle, 32.
Okay. Well, for Christopher Lott and really nobody else, I'm Carmichael Dave. We'll see you tomorrow. Alan Stiles is next with all your NBA Finals coverage and more. Stay tuned right here on Sacktown Sports.
On the move,